Brendan Snide, the Bucks cash in on the Pistons as Middleton makes history in Detroit.
I'm Debbie Loziga, and nasty ride right now. Very slick conditions pretty much everywhere. We've got ice covered on the Rock Freeway, where, by the way, the Moreland Road off-ramp from northbound on the Rock is closed, so that ramp is being worked on with an accident there. We've also got an accident in Kenosha, northbound 94, just about at Highway C. The right lane is blocked there, and on the Airport Spur Collector ramp, we got the left lane blocked because of a crash. Looks like the car might have gone into the wall there. So just those tramps are right in that spot where things are going to get nasty. So be extra careful. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Wintry mix this morning, very foggy depending on where you are as well. Anywhere from a trace to up to 2 inches of snow and icy this morning, high of 37 degrees. Will stay cloudy tonight with a low down to 34. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a mixture of this snow and freezing rain making a bit of a mess, as you heard from Deb here, across southeast Wisconsin. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore.
The real concern is even if air temperatures are a degree or two above freezing, ground temperatures are still cold because it has been so cold for about the last week or so. So it takes a while for the ground temperature to warm up. With that snowpack, it acts like a refrigerator, and it keeps those temperatures at the surface cold enough where a lot of this can freeze on contact.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up at 6:10.
Frustration and concern after a group of neo-Nazis projected the image of a swastika and chanted anti-Semitic rhetoric on the UW Whitewater campus. This happened over the weekend. TMJ4's Jenna Ray speaking with several students and teachers who say hate speech on campus should not be tolerated.
Freedom of speech only goes to such an extent to when it becomes aggressive and violent towards other people.
We live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. And it's happening right here at our front doors.
Absolutely disgusting, and that's not something that I stand for at all.
The Whitewater incident mirrors a similar incident that occurred on UW-Madison's campus in November.
Wisconsin Department of Justice now investigating. Police shot a person in Appleton overnight. An officer was responding to a place called the Maritime Tavern. About 1:30 in the morning, there was a weapons complaint. The officer fired at a suspect. The officer involved was not hurt. Right now, it's not clear whether the suspect threatened the officer or presented a weapon.
In Joliet, Illinois, police say a man wanted for 8 murders has been found dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound following a confrontation with law enforcement officials in Texas. Joliet Police Chief Bill Evans says officers found 7 people dead in 2 homes nearby.
I've been a policeman 29 years. This is probably the worst crime scene I've ever been associated with.
The Will County Sheriff's Office already investigating a shooting death that happened on Sunday as well.
Primary election day in New Hampshire.
Donald Trump rallied supporters in the lakeside town of Laconia last night.
We are really going to rock in New Hampshire.
He's been leading in the pre-election polls, but Nikki Haley has been crisscrossing the state, making this closing argument.
70% of Americans have said they don't want a Trump-Biden rematch.
This state has a strong modern track record of choosing the eventual GOP nominee. The last time it didn't was when John McCain upset George W. Bush here 24 years ago. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
It'll be a tight squeeze in Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention this July.
Host committee chair of the Milwaukee RNC, Ryan Priebus, tells WTMJ over 75,000 people from different states will be in attendance. And besides the main event at Pfizer, there will be other group events going on all across the city during the week.
If you're with the Texas GOP, you're going to have your events at your hotel, at restaurants, clubs, at bowling alleys. Every day you have your array of activities that they're going to participate in.
He also said they are working to see how travel will work for guests as well. Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers set to deliver his State of the State address tonight and could also mention the upcoming Republican National Convention. UWM Professor of Political Science Mordecai Lee.
I suspect that the governor may well acknowledge that this is going to put Milwaukee on the map in the way that the DNC did not put us on the map 4 years ago because of COVID.
You can watch that speech tonight on WTMJ.com or our WTMJ mobile app.
Coming up, the best of the worst film has to offer.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
I couldn't even bend over, but now after stem cell treatment, I can deadlift a house.
Now, this is an exaggeration, but I do hear about unbelievable miracle outcomes, and I have to ask, do you really believe them? If they were true, these biological treatments wouldn't even have to be advertised. Truth is, stem cell effectiveness is nowhere near 100%. It's expensive, and it doesn't last. At Rejuvenex, our FDA-approved pharmacological treatments ease inflammation and reduce pain. They're precisely administered to where your pain lives, and they work. Will the pain reduction last forever? No. But in some cases, relief has lasted as long as 24 months, and in most cases, insurance has paid for the treatments entirely. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. The Energy Star ratings for windows are getting a lot tougher to get the tax credits, so you're going to want to take advantage of. Fortunately, we still have options that will qualify you for those tax credits. Now, I can sit here and talk benefits of this product or what's great about that product. So can everybody else. But what a lot of operations can't do is, with complete confidence, stand behind the crew that's going to be on that next job. Talk is cheap, I get it, but our people are exceptional. How do I know? Because me and Vito handpick every single person that makes our team. Some make the cut, a lot don't. And that's why you can be confident that the windows we install for you will be top quality, installed right, and that you're going to get great service. And that's never failed us. So for your home's new windows, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Annex Wealth Management, investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning, customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
A triple-double for Giannis and a historic night for Middleton. Brandon Snyder, sports at 6:15.
Marquette University's tuition going to go up 5% next year, surpassing $50,000. Spokesperson for the private university cites inflation on goods and services and other items as well. Additionally, the university will provide more than $180 million in financial aid. Tuition at Marquette has gone up about $6,000 since 2020.
50 new projects to calm Milwaukee traffic will be taken on in 2024, that according to city engineers. One of them, Kevin Muse, telling TMJ4 News where some of the most significant projects will take place.
We're standing up near one right here on Wells Street. We also have Lake Drive on the northeast side, and on the south side, Howard Avenue as well. Those are all getting full reconstructions. We have a few resurfacing projects on large corridors as well.
Projects are going on in a partnership with the federal government.
An all-star cast is up for a cringe-worthy award.
Let's fly, baby!
The fourth installment of The Expendables leads the nominees for this year's Golden Raspberry Awards, also known as the Razzies.
I got this situation where I need your help. I need bad friends.
The film got 7 nominations, including Worst Picture of the Year.
I don't want to go to hell.
The Exorcist Believer, the Meg 2, Shazam sequel, and Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey are also up for that honor.
We should be close now.
The Razzies highlight the worst performances of the year, and they're typically announced the day before Oscar nominations. Razzie winners will be announced March 9th. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
I'm disappointed. I thought Blood and Honey might be nominated for an Oscar instead of a Razzie.
That's one of those that they were hoping to make this list. Like, yeah, of course, that's the movie we made.
So the Oscar nominations, by the way, come out this morning, 7:30.
6:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The next time they ask you what size tires you need, just go to richlawns.com.
That's Richlawns spelled with 2 N's.
No more trying to read that tiny writing on the side of your old tires or on the inside of your car door.
Just go to richlawns.com, click on the year button, then the make and model of your vehicle, and
the exact tire size you need.
In a multitude of brands and styles.
Yet all specific to your vehicle, because at Richlawns, there isn't a tire on the planet we can't get.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair, which means you're 100% covered, no questions asked.
The next time you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com.
Because free flat tire repair automatically comes with every tire we install.
I'm Brett Matchke with Richlawns. You're due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlawns Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlawns.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring friendly, people-oriented servers. You'll make real cash, full or part-time, and always busy. Inquire today, start next week.
Checking in with Debbie here. Going to be a busy morning on the roads as it is icy, Deb.
Yeah, it's a Technicolor mashup on my map right now with all the different road conditions. We've got slippery stretches. We've got snow covered in certain areas, actually further out north. We've got icy conditions for sure, like the Rock Freeway. We've got icy conditions on that all the way into the Hale interchange. Now, we did have an accident that was on the Moreland Road off-ramp from 43 northbound, but that actually has been cleared out of the way. We also have, though, an accident on northbound 94 right at the airport spur collector ramp. The left lane was blocked, and it was a little bit of a gauntlet trying to get through that area. Also in Kenosha County, northbound on 94 at Highway C, got the left lane blocked with a crash there. Now, that's just giving you an idea of what we're dealing with. You want to keep your speeds in check because it's just not going to be pretty as far as stopping distances, especially in those elevated roadways. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A winter weather advisory is in effect until 2 p.m. this afternoon. We'll see a wintry mix of sleet, snow, freezing rain, and rain. A glaze of ice and up to 2 inches of sleet and snow will be possible. For tonight, cloudy skies, mild temperatures, and foggy conditions as lows drop down into the 30s. Wednesday, we'll see the chance for just some cold, light rainfall with high temperatures close to 40, keeping the mild temperatures and scattered rain chances through Thursday. Then cloudy skies Friday into Saturday with high temperatures in the upper 30s to near 40. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Waukesha 31 degrees, Milwaukee 36.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
6:12 on this Tuesday morning. We got a rocking day ahead in the news. A whole lot of stuff happening. Let's start in Madison, where tonight...
Mr. President and members, the governor of the great state of Wisconsin, the Honorable Tony Evers.
Governor Tony Evers scheduled to deliver his State of the State address in the Assembly Chamber at the Wisconsin State Capitol.
We've gotten to work fixing the darn roads. I even helped fill some of those potholes myself, by the way.
The top highlight from last year's go-around. We'll hear a litany of accomplishments and priorities for the coming year. It's not a budget year, so might be a little bit lighter on that. You remember, Wisconsin is on a 2-year budget cycle, so it's not like he's going to be presenting another budget. So there'll be priorities that he has.
I'm curious if he does bring up the big event taking place in Milwaukee this summer.
Would be magnanimous.
Yeah, if the RNC comes up.
So you're going to hear that. The governor will have that speech tonight. You can stream it live on WTMJ.com or on our app, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we'll have that for you. 7 o'clock is the speech time. In New Hampshire today...
So if you want a losing candidate who puts America last, vote for Nikki Haley.
Okay, so former President Donald Trump expected to cruise to his second straight nomination victory unless... Former ambassador, former Governor Nikki Haley can court enough independence to pull off an upset.
And we can't be a country in disarray and have a world on fire and go through 4 more years of chaos because we won't survive it.
Will it still be a 2-person race when it gets to Wisconsin? We are late in the primary cycle. April 2nd?
I guess it really depends on this one and then South Carolina, which is several weeks away.
Right, and where she was governor, yet she is trailing to former President Trump. Democrats focused on our state. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris in Waukesha County Monday.
Oh, it's good to be back in Wisconsin. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
She focused, as the president did yesterday, on access to elective abortions as the Wisconsin state legislature was holding a hearing on a bill that would largely outlaw the procedure beyond 14 weeks. Measure Governor Tony Evers has already pledged to veto. And then later this week, we got President Biden coming back to Wisconsin. He is headed to Superior, where it's simply lovely this time of year. Right? So why Superior? Not exactly the largest media market in the state. Because Superior is getting a bridge. U.S. Department of Transportation announced Monday more than $1 billion in federal funding to replace the big old bridge that connects Duluth, Minnesota with Superior, Wisconsin.
Now, where are the ice caves? Are they up there someplace?
Apostle Islands.
Yeah.
Thank you, Debbie.
ish, but you'd have to kind of go over.
The snowshoe over.
Have to go to your right. Go to Superior, turn right.
I don't know if those are open at the moment, but
yes. So President Biden will be back in the state on Thursday. 6:15. Brandon Snide is Sports Next.
It's David Nason, your personal inspection pro from WTMJ's The Fix-It Show. I'm with my go-to basement repair guy, Chris Mancuso of Accurate Basement Repair. This is the team I personally recommend for leaky or cracked basements.
Wow, thanks, David. Our team at Accurate Basement Repair has been fixing leaky and cracked basements for the Fix-It listeners for over 20 years.
That's great, Chris. For more information about how to schedule a free inspection and estimate, check out AccurateBasementRepair.com because they're not just good, they're accurate.
Well, I sure hope it doesn't happen to you, but it is slippery, not just on the roads, but on the sidewalks, on your front walk. Real fall risk today. So if you hear something pop or snap while you're out doing the shoveling, or worse, have a fall that leaves you in a lot of pain, Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin is here to help. Get that checked out. Get it fixed with the experts in orthopedic care. That is OAW. You can book an appointment anytime, but if you need relief, if you have a fall today, you don't want to spend hours waiting in line at the emergency room, paying those big hospital prices, the Ortho ASAP Clinic has hours Monday through Saturday in Pewaukee and Monday through Friday in Brookfield. You just walk right in. They'll look at sprains, strains, dislocations, even fractures. X-rays are available right there on site. It's faster, it's easier, likely less expensive than the trip to the ER or urgent care, and now you're already in the good hands of the people at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. You walk right in at the Ortho ASAP clinics or make an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Staples stores provide innovative products and services for small business, remote workers and learners, even teachers and parents. Explore more at your local Staples store.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
For the second time in 3 nights, the Milwaukee Bucks taking care of business in the Motor City as they knock off the Detroit Pistons on Monday for their 30th win of the season. This one by a final score of 122-113.
Giannis back to Middleton. Middleton to try to move to third all-time in the Bucks record book. He will do just that. Chris Middleton passing the big dog on the three-pointer to put Milwaukee ahead by their largest lead of 11 in the midst of a 15-2 run. And move over, big dog. Cash Money is your third all-time leading scorer for the Bucks. That's behind one Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and one Giannis Antetokounmpo.
The call here on WTMJ as Middleton making history on Monday against the team that once traded him to Milwaukee as he moves into third place, as you heard Dave Kane on the call right there say that, with over now 12,000 points.
It's just a testament of just what a pro is about. Again, it's just a testament of just all the hard work. It takes a lot to come, where he started and where he is now. It takes a lot of hard work, fortitude. He's a champion, obviously NBA champion. But more than anything else, I just love the influence that he has on our team, especially with the young guys.
Middleton would finish the night with 26 points. Giannis finishing with a triple-double of 31 points, 17 boards, and 10 assists as the Bucks winning for the 5th time in 6 games. They'll return home tomorrow night to host Cleveland. Over to the NFL, where the offseason is officially underway in Green Bay. It wasn't the ending the Packers were hoping for, but nonetheless, head coach Matt LaFleur quite impressed on the turnaround the NFL's youngest roster had throughout the course of an up-and-down season.
I think we were committed to our process throughout the entire season, and it's easy to get hung up on the end results, but it really comes back down to how you do things on a daily basis, how you're finding different ways to get better, and just sticking together, like fighting through some tough times. I think there's been a lot of growth, a lot of learning lessons. All in all, there's a lot of good that came out of this.
LaFleur also mentioning on Monday, no decisions have been made with any of his assistant coaches, including defensive coordinator Joe Barry.
I haven't even thought about that at this stage.
Yes, you have.
Kind of going through everything right now. I want to certainly sit down with every assistant before
well,
any
at least you better have.
I appreciate that he wants to go through a process. Totally grant him that. I'm not going to come in here day after a tough loss and start firing people. Like, he has a process, as he should. But what do you mean you haven't thought about it?
So it is being reported, Matt Schneidman of The Athletic, that Joe Barry is still under contract for another year.
Oh.
So that could change how the Packers approach this offseason.
Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:20.
Start planning for your retirement today so you enjoy retirement tomorrow. Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday mornings at 7, where Tony Drake and his Education First team discuss retirement trends, taxes, inflation, and Social Security benefits to help you achieve a more secure financial future.
Join us this week as we talk about the coming presidential election and what the political turmoil means for your retirement.
Retirement Ready with Tony Drake on WTMJ.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Home is where the heart is. Family meals, laughter, and warm memories. As your local contractor that's been around for 40 years, J&J Contractors has been helping families create new memories for generations to come by reimagining your kitchen space for baking holiday cookies with the family or opening up your lower level for friend and neighbor entertainment. Whatever the project is, J&J Contractors does it with top-of-the-line craftsmanship. Just Google J&J Contractors to see their reviews for impeccable work and outstanding communication.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Checking in with Debbie here at 6:22.
Okay, well, we've got an accident in Kenosha. Northbound 94 has the right lane blocked right about at Highway C. So watch out for that. We have another one at the Airport Spur collector ramp onto northbound 94. It's off on the left shoulder. However, I did see that it was blocking the left lane for a bit there, so just watch out for that. Yeah, it is blocking the left lane. So squads are with it. They're working on it, so just be careful. Very slippery conditions. Icy on the Rock Freeway, on Highway 100, on Forest Home, and many other roadways as well. So please be extra careful. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Most of southeast Wisconsin now under a winter weather advisory. We've got this wintry mix around this morning. Could get up to 2 inches of snow in some spots. Other spots, just a trace with more rain mixing in and a glaze of ice on top that's going to make things slippery. High of 37 degrees today. Cloudy, foggy once again tonight with a low down to 34. Then light rain and fog Wednesday morning. Wednesday's high 39 degrees. Right now 31 in Waukesha, 36 in Milwaukee.
Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this. Mama said.
6:23 inside and out. Plenty to do around southeast Wisconsin. As with the Packers now out of the playoffs, you sort of focus now on bridging that gap between winter and spring. Right?
How do you shorten that gap as much as possible?
Yes,
man?
Callie Herbst, founder of Milwaukee with Kids, is on the Tri-County Contracting Hotline this morning. Callie, Packers big thing in your house?
Oh, my God, are you kidding? My daughter's birthday always falls around these playoff times, and my husband cannot figure out which one to care about.
Right. Is tonight the Chuck E. Cheese, or could we have a playoff game?
Can't have the birthday party tonight.
Well, so you can totally feel that, right? We get now the Packers season abruptly ends, and it's like, oh, what are we going to do the rest of the year? So if you want to stick with sports, the Brewers have already announced their promotional days for the coming season.
Yes, and I'm really impressed with these giveaways. I'm normally not a giveaway person, but they've got this really cool Giannis Brewers basketball jersey. They've got a Brewers belt bag, like a fanny pack, those are cool. And also a soccer jersey, a puffy vest. When I was on the website this morning, I'm like, these look really nice. And you should check it out on their website. So they just announced all of these giveaways.
It's funny, we've talked before, when we were kids, the giveaways were stuff you didn't really want. It wasn't nice stuff. It was
a pad of paper.
Yeah, right. But you're absolutely right. Some of the stuff you would wear around.
Absolutely. I mean, I might go just for that fanny pack. I just love those belt bags. And the Giannis jersey was really popular last year, so obviously they brought it back again this year.
So outdoors, we got new stuff happening now that winter's sort of taken its hold, this week's forecast notwithstanding. So I've always wondered, is that dinky rink at the public market, that little ice rink they put up, is that worth it?
It's worth it because they have built it up where it's comfortable for you to go there. They've got a seating area right there with like a little farm shed area. They have outdoor heaters, so you're not going to be sitting there freezing. Obviously, it's accessible to the markets. You can just go get a snack. I think it's like a funny thing, right? I mean, it's a 1,000 square foot dinky rink, but it's definitely fun for for some friends to get together and just enjoy the market in a new way.
So in Lake Geneva, we always talk about the ice castles. I think they've sort of rebranded that now, right? It's called Winter Realms.
Yes. So it's interesting. It's the same idea, but I think they've done away with these giant, massive ice castles, and they're replacing it with things like sleigh rides. There's an Arctic village of igloos and ice sculptures, and there's some ice slides that look really cool that are illuminated that the kids will think are awesome. But I think they might be trying to make this a little more manageable through any kind of winter climate. They had some issues with ice castles. I mean, this is all speculation, but it looks more doable for, any kind of winter that we might have.
Well, that was it, because take this week, for example, we had the really cold weather where they could build up the ice castles, and then you have a week like this where it hits 40 on Friday. Right, it's rain, and then it would get ruined. So if they have something that's a little more sustainable, I'm on board. Real quick, Milwaukee Public Museum, they've got Construction is back.
Okay, this is much more impressive than it might sound. There's a new exhibit. It's going to be here January 27th through February 4th in their special exhibit section. And basically they're building massive structures out of non-perishable food items, canned foods. Each structure has at least 1,000 cans, and you'd be surprised what they can build. Butterflies, houses, trees. It's amazing. And then these all get donated to, those in need. And so it's kind of a cool, art meets community service initiative.
And then you're in the public museum, which is a great place anyway.
Here we
go. And it's museum days. Yep.
Thanks, Callie. Great to talk to you again.
Okay, bye-bye.
Callie Herbst. The website is mkewithkids.com. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average back up above 38,000. Closed at 38,002 on Monday. NASDAQ at 15,360. That was up almost 50 points. And the S&P 500 up about 11 to 48.50. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button now.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle until I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Hey there, Eric Bilstad for Tri-County Contracting. Yes, I know it's the winter time, but the time is now to be thinking about next spring and your roof. Don't forget, Tri-County Contracting has the worry-free roof tune-up. You can schedule it now. Get it on the books. Make sure your roof is good to go next spring. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com is the website, or call 262-679-6100. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. That's Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
People saw me and assumed I couldn't work. They only saw a disability, but I was ready to work. I am dependable, trainable, and productive. Then someone decided to believe in me and say yes.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
Shop Steinhaffel's Tempur-Pedic Ergo Smart Bases. They start at $42 per month with Steinhaffel's 60-month financing, and you'll get $300 in Steinhaffel's cash. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com. Steinhaffel's is your mattress destination.
Wisconsin's Morning News National Anthem is powered by Wenninger Compressor, putting the I-Can in American. This is the U.S. Atlantic Fleet Band.
It's 6:31. I'm Adam Roberts, and this is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Tuesday, January 23rd. Our top story, a glaze of ice across southeast Wisconsin, making for a messy start to the day.
That's right, Adam. I'm Debbie Laziga, and things are nasty out there. You want to get out there early so that you can go nice and slow and stay in control of your car. Ice-covered roads specifically to the south and west of us. Otherwise, slippery stretches everywhere else. An accident northbound on 94, right about at Highway C, is off on the left shoulder. Another one on the airport spur collector ramp to get onto northbound 94. Left lane is blocked there. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A winter weather advisory in effect for most of southeast Wisconsin, except for Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties not included, until 2 p.m. today. For this mix of rain, sleet, ice, and up to 2 inches of snow. Heavy snow at that today in your Storm Team forecast. A high of 37. Overnight tonight, cloudy, foggy, and mild, of lows in the mid-30s. Right now, we've got freezing rain and 34 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, today's weather will carry a big impact throughout the morning into the early afternoon. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore.
Here's this band of precipitation moving in that is lifting off to the north, and that is going to keep things going for the next couple of hours. In fact, the heaviest rates of precipitation will move in through the mid to late morning hours today and towards lunchtime.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up at 6:40. Frustration and concern continue in Whitewater after a group of neo-Nazis projected the image of a swastika and chanted anti-Semitic rhetoric on the UW Whitewater campus Sunday evening. TMJ4's Jenna Ray spoke with several students and parents who say hate speech on campus should not be tolerated.
Freedom of speech only goes to such an extent to when it becomes aggressive and violent towards other people.
We live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. And it's happening right here at our front doors.
Absolutely disgusting, and that's not something that I stand for at all.
The Whitewater incident mirrors a similar one that occurred on UW-Madison's campus in November. Meanwhile, 101.7 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the message may be upsetting to some.
But in the end, they have a constitutional right. It's it's public property on the sidewalk. And instead of damaging the building and painting something, they projected it. So clearly somebody thought through all of the laws and ordinance violations that could occur, and they did it.
Police say no one involved has been identified or arrested. The author of a 14-week abortion ban proposal for Wisconsin is defending her exclusion of exceptions for rape or incest, saying 14 weeks is enough time to make a decision.
Representative Amanda Nedwiski wrote the bill and says it's not about denying women health care.
I have demonstrated my commitment to women's health with support for over-the-counter birth control. Sadly, I also know that we are in a country that has witnessed a disintegration of the value of life.
But med student Madeline Welch says she doesn't see it that way.
Representative Nedwiski mentioned that we need to stop exploiting the life of the unborn. But what about exploiting the lives of those who are forced forced to carry out a pregnancy they do not want.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
The proposal faces an uncertain future in the state Senate as Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu has not signed on as a co-sponsor. Meanwhile, a showdown today in New Hampshire. Voters will choose between former President Donald Trump and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley for the GOP presidential nomination.
Jim of Hanover, New Hampshire, says his vote for Nikki Haley is all about policy.
We need a candidate, a president who is policy focused. Policy focused means doing the work of finding a way to get bills passed that address major national issues. Debt, healthcare costs, inflation, the border.
Augusta is all in for Donald Trump.
There are a lot of people that are purely anti-Trump, and I understand that. But I think they don't see the real Trump, and I think they don't see what he accomplished. I mean, one of the major things, I think, was the economy.
Matt Piper, CBS News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
There are 22 delegates at stake tonight for Republicans. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:35.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
Looking for a delicious value? Sendik's Quality Friday Fish Fry is the best around. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Coming up, the return of an iconic real crime show that the FBI wanted back on the air. That story next.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery. And from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry, "Replace! Replace!" But the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenix are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenix Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenix, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavini for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your own house, do not suffer through one more winter in a cold and drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass. And they'll double your energy tax credit. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your project. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to universalwindowsdirect.com, and you'll be saying, "I love my windows."
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through the end of February, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has provided more than 2.4 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:38.
A banner night for the Bucks and a couple of individuals in particular. Brandon Snyder has sports at 6:45.
It's back. The return of iconic show. You want to guess?
It's old school meets new school, and we're going out and kick some butt.
Yeah, we are. America's Most Wanted is back.
I didn't know it was not around. I didn't know it was gone.
It originally debuted back in 1996. So, of course, John Walsh, the father of Adam Walsh, who was abducted and killed back in the early 80s. So this time they're back. It's Walsh and his son, Callahan, taking care of things. And Walsh told TMZ that the FBI asked them to bring the show back.
The criminals have gotten smarter, and the level of crime has gotten worse. The director of the FBI said, we're hoping you're going to come out of retirement. You're going to come back because we've become a lawless society in many parts of America. We're setting records for all kinds of violent crimes.
So they're going to combine old school with new school, some social media stuff and whatnot.
America needs John Walsh.
Yes.
And Callahan Walsh.
Callahan. I called him Chameleon earlier. I couldn't remember his name.
I thought his name was Carson. Right, yeah.
Callahan.
I knew it was a C something.
So they've captured nearly 1,200 criminals, including 17 on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. So hopefully that can do some good here as well.
You tell me where that dirtbag is, and I'll go catch him.
It's time to make the call. It's time to get that lasting relief you deserve from that awful joint pain in 2024. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik for QC Kinetics. Hey, don't go another year compromising because of that awful pain in your knees or your shoulder. Give a call to QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative, non-surgical pain relief. Now, the best part is your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue. That means no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. QC Kinetics can make it happen. Hundreds of board-certified QC Kinetics providers have treated tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, with hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. And it's not a Band-Aid fix. This is revolutionary. It's treatment that can get you moving again and get your life back. Take the first step now. Give a call to QC Kinetics. A free consultation awaits. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
One day, a 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission structure will be commonplace. But for now, it's not the case. So you can pay 6% for what we can do for about half that, or you can pay less for full service. For some, it's hard to believe, but for our customers, they know it to be true. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, and our agents understand the meaning of great customer service. And you'll see they're the cream of the crop. So don't pay more than you have to. Pay less for full service with Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com. The reviews are in, and folks seem to like how we do business. And what's more, they can't get over the level of service and real estate expertise they get for far less than what they'd pay an agent from a big-name company. At 3.5 to 3.9%, you'll save up to nearly 50% in commission by choosing a Benefit Realty full-service agent. Everything they do, we do, for up to 50% less. There's no catch. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. See our success stories at benefit-realty.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law fights for those who fought for us. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied the VA benefits you're entitled to, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Checking in with Debbie here at 6:42. Then, Deb, I'm going to need you to stick around for the next segment.
Okay. All right.
Discuss what I saw in the Marquette interchange yesterday.
Yes. All right, then. Okay. We've got northbound on 94 in Kenosha County at Highway C, an accident being worked on. It is out of traffic on the left now, so that's that. But, and we had an earlier accident at the airport spur. That actually has been cleared out of the way. What we are left with is slippery conditions as well as icy conditions, specifically to the south and west. We got lots of ice right around Delavan, heading up on the Rock Freeway. We've also got Highway 100 with a lot of icy areas, slippery stretches everywhere else, so that's going to make for a nasty ride. Give yourself tons of time. Hey, by the way, be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Watch out for slippery spots on the roadways this morning into this afternoon with the winter weather advisory until 2 p.m. We are going to see a wintry mix of sleet, snow, freezing rain, and rain. Up to 2 inches of sleet and snow and a glaze of ice will be possible. That will end towards sunset this evening. Then for tonight, cloudy skies and foggy with low temperatures in the low to middle 30s. More rain chances are on the way on Wednesday. We'll get rid of the wintry mix, though. Thursday, more scattered rain chances with high temperatures close to 40. We'll keep the mild temperatures going Friday into Saturday with cloudy skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 36 degrees. Good morning. To get the video stream going, if you're able, because we're going to share a quick video that I recorded in the Marquette interchange of a guy on some sort of motorized bike that was at best topping out at 40 miles an hour.
On the interstate.
On the interstate.
Greg Hill, producer of the program, is running the video in the stream this morning. So text the word WATCH to 855-616-1620 to see it, or just click on the Watch Now button on our app or on our website. I threw it all on all of my social media as well if you prefer to get it that way. So I'm Okay, Deb,
This is a facepalm moment for me right now.
I'm eastbound, like you pick it up on 794 there, the spur between the Hone Bridge and the Marquette Interchange.
Mhm.
So I'm headed east, and I want to go southbound. So that's
Onto
the far
4394?
Correct.
Okay,
it's
so you're going over the high-rise bridge right now.
right-hand
then. Okay.
ramp, and then I'm about to go over onto the high-rise bridge.
Okay.
Right, and in front of me is this dude on... It looks like an e-bike, doesn't it? I don't think it is because he's going about 40 miles an hour.
It sure doesn't look like a motorcycle.
In the left lane. What the heck? Dude.
So outside of the fact that it's super cold and the fact that his back tire is flat
Yeah, I
and he's
noticed
borderline
that.
riding on rims, he's also on a vehicle that does not appear legal for the interstate. Deb.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm going as fast as I can.
Hey,
Wow.
Not everyone has the luxury of a four-wheel automobile like you guys.
Well, then you know what? You got to stay off the interstate. Okay, just saying that. And not
Okay.
only that, but one of the biggest interchanges in Wisconsin, elevated, nasty weather, the whole shebang, man. The only thing missing is that, like serious ice sheets right there.
Yeah. Emotions for me ran the gamut. Right. I did, Eric, honestly have a moment of pause. I'm looking at it, I'm like, what's with this guy? Mostly I just recorded it because it was funny.
Right, yes, of course.
And funny trumps wrong.
Yep.
98% of the time.
Okay.
But like there was a moment of gratitude of like, here's this guy, he's got somewhere he's got to be, and this is the mode of transportation he has, and I'm grateful for my 12-year-old Honda that I'm riding in.
There are a lot of other city streets that you can take without going on the freaking
There was
interstate.
that.
Did you follow him all the way home?
No, it looked like he,
Are
it
you
looked like he got
okay,
off on
dude?
National. So, I mean, maybe just a quick hitter, up on over here downtown, take that to National. Yes, plenty of other ways to get there. But then part of me is like, I give the guy a lot of cred.
He's got guts.
Illegal as it may have been.
Completely and utterly illegal, by the way. So,
Well, look, you can drive on our freeways at 98 miles an hour with no plates. So I guess
Yeah, that's the other thing.
If
This
this
guy had
guy
no
gets
plates.
popped, I would have sympathy for him.
oh my gosh.
Well, the
In the
video's
left
up there.
lane.
If you missed it, you can text the word bike. We've got the video posted on our website as well. Text bike to 855-616-1620 and I'll send you the link.
Mopeds are restricted to public roads with a speed limit of 35 miles per hour or less.
Okay, well,
Just saying.
There it is. Brandon Snide's got sports next.
My doctor told me my blood pressure is borderline. I figured I could worry about it or do something about it. So I took control with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula. It works safely and naturally to help maintain healthy blood pressure with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Valentine's Day is here. This year, give the ultimate gift. Name a star after your sweetheart. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For 45 years, we've named millions of stars for celebrities, dignitaries, and individuals worldwide. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can give the most memorable gift. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Bucks secured win number 30 last night in Detroit as Giannis dropped a triple-double. Middleton scored 26 as they go on for the 122-113 win. It's the Bucks' fifth win in their last 6 games. Up next, they home matchup with Cleveland on Wednesday night. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur meeting with the media on Monday for his end-of-season press conference. LaFleur mentioning no decision has been made on any of his assistant coaches, including defensive coordinator Joe Barry. And lastly, over to college hoops, where the 13th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers are back in action tonight in Minnesota to take on the Gophers. That tip-off is set for 6 o'clock.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Brendan Snide.
The offseason slate officially beginning for head coach Matt LaFleur on Monday. This after falling to the hands of the San Francisco 49ers in the divisional round. Yesterday I discussed and I made the case on how the Packers fans should feel after overperforming in the second half of the season. And with those feelings should come a bit of higher expectations for 2024 and beyond. One way, in my opinion, to feel confident heading into next season doesn't have much to do with the offense as much as it does with the defense. All season since week one, the Packers in 2023 have consistently ranked in the lower tier of almost all defensive categories this season. Some, if not all, are not relatively shocked by this, but to me, the talent on that side of the ball is far too good for those types of numbers. Over the last month or so of the season, I will give credit where credit is due. The defense did play much better overall. They made plays, they shut down opposing offenses, and they created much needed turnovers. My question, and one question most cheeseheads should be asking today, is where has this been over the past 24 months and not just the last one? Too much investment has been made on that side of the ball, including 8 first-rounders since 2016, to constantly be the one unit on this team that never carries its weight. LaFleur needs to make a change this season, and his first order of business should be to bring in a new defensive coordinator to help the youngest roster in the NFL. Barry, in my opinion, has been fine. Not great, not always good, not the worst, I suppose, but somewhere right in the middle there. At the end of all this, it's LaFleur's time to raise the bar and create a sense of urgency on that side of the ball, something this team has been lacking for quite some time. Bring in someone new, someone hungry, who has new ideas and is ready to grow, develop, and lead that defense. After all, this team is closer than many realized.
Wake up with me. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 8:15 for Matzik's Morning Minute during Wisconsin's Morning News. Everything you need to know about all your favorite Wisconsin teams in just 60 seconds.
It's a true test to all of us, but I do believe in the guys in that locker room in terms of the character that we have.
Every Monday and Friday at 8:15 during Wisconsin's Morning News.
Lopez squeezes up a 3, rattles another one through. Oh, it's contagious.
Sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac.
As an independent tire and service center, our loyalty is to you, not the manufacturer.
It's the tire manufacturer's goal to design a superior tire.
But it's our job to ensure the right tires are properly installed on your vehicle.
A service our family has been independently providing for the past 2 generations. So make no mistake about it, our loyalty is to you.
And the dozens of tire brands we carry, like Goodyear, General, and Pirelli,
or Continental, Kelly, and Dunlop, well, that's for you too.
Because we won't know what type of tire you need until you get here.
So instead, we carry them all.
Because we install them all.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair.
Which means you're 100% covered.
No questions asked.
I guess you could call it family tradition.
Be safe, buckle up, and hey.
Always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. Your
due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service. Such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
At Kowal Investment Group, we've been helping our clients plan for retirement for over 36 years. We'd like to help you too. Visit thekowalway.com or call 262-522-4040.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
No, moped or otherwise, Deb, pretty slippery out there this morning.
At least he was wearing a helmet, I guess.
There was that. He was well protected.
All right, so we got slippery conditions across the entire area. Icy on some of the roads, especially from to the south and west. So something to keep in mind if you're going to be heading out today. Just take it easy and keep your speeds in check. Bridges and overpasses on and off ramps going to be nasty this morning. Right now, no major delays. We had an earlier accident on northbound 94 right about in Kenosha County, right at Highway C. That's still being worked on, but it is out of traffic. Delays right now on southbound 43 now starting right around Hampton Avenue all the way down past Locust. Northbound's backed up from Fond du Lac up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Hope you like this today because a little bit more of it through the week. Wintry mix, foggy, trace to up to 2 inches of snow with a glaze of ice today. High 37 degrees. Low down to 34 tonight as it remains foggy. A little bit of light rain and fog Wednesday morning. Wednesday's high 39. Scattered rain Thursday, high 39. And up to 40 on Friday under cloudy skies. Right now, 36 in Milwaukee. 6:54 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friend of the program, two-time Sports Writer of the Year, Lori Nickel on the line with us this morning. Lori, did you happen to see the video we were just talking about? This dude on like moped sort of, well, it was less than a motorcycle, I'll tell you that.
I don't know if that's a moped.
Riding around on the freeway yesterday?
Yeah, I did. I don't know what, I don't know. We hate to say like Darwin, but I'm a poor child. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, okay, so we were talking earlier about now we have to bridge this gap. And there's plenty of sports going. You got college basketball, you got the Bucks and all that stuff. But like, there's this gap. Like when the football season for the Packers comes to this abrupt end, you will feel this weekend. Like, now what are we supposed to do?
Really? There's so much going on.
No,
oh my gosh, there's really you're going through the withdrawal.
I feel like I can't make it to March now.
Oh my gosh, that's like a diagnosis, my friend. That's like seasonal affective disorder. No, I remember like when I would be done with Packer season at this point, I would be so desperate. I'd be watching like NASCAR or something, or in February, or I would clean all the cupboards. No, there's other stuff for you to watch. There's other, I mean, the Bucks are really good right now. They're really interesting in that way.
So I'm always curious about how a professional handles this. It's different when you're an amateur or like a kid and your season, quote unquote, comes to an end and you're like, you use that maybe to work harder for the next time. For a professional football player who ends their season now abruptly, how do they create motivation to make sure they learn from it a year later?
Well, I have two examples on that. One is Kenny Clark, who plays for the Packers, well-known, established veteran. His rookie year, the team was really successful, but he was a first-round draft pick, and he was heavily criticized for not being good enough, not being available, not being healthy. And when the Packers lost in the NFC Championship game at Atlanta after his rookie year, he texted his personal coach, his personal trainer, and he texted this. He said, "This will never happen to me again." And he was so motivated after that. And he leaned on veteran help from the Packers to really get after it all off season, which these off seasons are even shorter and shorter. But that's where you get better. That's, first of all, where you build up all your muscle and your strength to endure the whole season, and then to get technically better and sound. But the thing that I really think of, Eric, in 2006, the Packers had a terrible season. They were 8-8. Mike Sherman got fired. It was a rehaul of the coaching staff. So in 2007, how did the Packers come back to go all the way to the NFC Championship game after being 13-3? And there were several groups in that team that remind me of this group right now with the Packers. That wide receiver group back then was Donald Driver and Greg Jennings and James Jones, super close. They started this culture, a subculture within their own group of getting together for workouts, for communicating in the off season. They didn't have group chats back then, but they had phone call messages and things like that where they talked about, hey, what are you doing? What are you working on? Who are you working out with? Same thing. Back then, the defensive back group reminds me of the current defensive back group now. There was Charles Woodson. There was Tramon Williams. Guys would meet up in California for workouts or in Florida or would ask, who are you training with? It wasn't an off season where it was just about vacations and family time, which it should be. But it was also about what are we doing now to build? And the same with the running back group. Back then it was Ryan Grant and Brandon Jackson. A lot of these people were there to help build all the way to the 2010 season, which as you know, culminated in the Super Bowl in 2011, in the winter of 2011. So what's happening now is that Matt LaFleur put everybody on notice less than 36 hours after losing. He said, expectations are going to be totally different. And if the Packers now are going to live up to the expectations that they established, it's going to be with this off-season work and camaraderie and challenging each other and really pushing each other with the subgroups within the big group.
Yeah, I hope the off season is short. I'm with you. A lot of excitement with the Bucs and a lot of other stuff, but I'm ready for mini camp.
Oh gosh, Vince, why? I mean, really? Oh my gosh, you're one of those. Okay.
One of those. Great to talk to you, Lori. Stay upright today.
Take care. Thank you.
6:59 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Do the business headlines next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Rich Kirchen.
Another area golf course slated for redevelopment, the Pewaukee Golf Club could host up to 460 apartments and homes under a proposal from Land by Label Development of Franklin. Haribo of America's gummy factory in Kenosha County runs for about a year, and the company expands with a nearby warehouse. The site in Bristol replaces a smaller facility due to ramping up production. Jersey Mike's Subs adds a new location in southeast Wisconsin. It's in Delavan on Geneva Street. The co-franchisee is Madison Burrows, a former manager with the chain. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you got to call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Find out for yourself. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Happy New Year from Heiser Automotive. There's no time like now to refresh your ride, whether that means a new car or making sure your current car is winterized and ready to go. For our customers, we've created the Safe and Sound program. Every sale includes the exchange program. Don't love it? Exchange it. Convenient service. Use our new mobile service van. We'll come to you. Lifetime roadside assistance and much more. Stop in or shop online. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
With Social Security, the longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team of advisors at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help you decide on the best decision for you and your situation. You spent decades paying in, optimize what comes out. Our experienced team can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. I'd love to get you our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides such as the Social Security decision. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 7 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News, Tuesday, January 23rd. Our top story, folks on the roads having trouble in these icy conditions.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Frustration in Whitewater over a Nazi demonstration.
I'm Brandon Snide. The biggest question in Green Bay remains unanswered as the offseason gets underway.
I'm Debbie Laziga, and we do have a crash on northbound 94 in Kenosha County, right at Highway C. Still being worked on the left shoulder, so keep your eyes open for that. Southbound 43 slowing down from before Silver Spring all the way down past Keith. Northbound slow around the North Avenue curve up to Keefe as well. And then eastbound 94 slowing from 84th Street all the way through the stadium, which is a good idea because we've got slippery conditions pretty much everywhere. Icy on the Rock Freeway as well as points south and west. Right around Delavan, we got lots of icy conditions as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Painting Time Saver Traffic.
Wintry mix today, foggy as well. Could get up to 2 inches of snow in some spots, icy throughout, cloudy and foggy with mild temperatures tonight, low down to 34. Right now at 36 in Milwaukee, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, this mixture of snow and freezing rain making a bit of a mess in southeast Wisconsin this morning. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore.
The real concern is even if air temperatures are a degree or two above freezing, ground temperatures are still cold because it has been so cold for about the last week or so. So it takes a while for the ground temperature to warm up. And with that snowpack, it acts like a refrigerator and it keeps those temperatures at the surface cold enough where a lot of this can freeze on contact.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up at 7:10. Reaction continuing after a group of neo-Nazis projected an image of a swastika and chanted anti-Semitic rhetoric on the UW Whitewater campus. This was Sunday evening. TMJ4's Jenna Ray spoke with some students as well as educators who say that speech on campus should not be tolerated.
Freedom of speech only goes to such an extent to when it becomes aggressive and violent towards other people.
We live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. And it's happening right here at our front doors.
Absolutely disgusting, and that's not something that I stand for at all.
What happened in Whitewater, similar to an incident that occurred on the UW-Madison campus in November.
Governor Evers will provide his annual State of the State address tonight in Madison, recapping an eventful 2023 in the state. You can watch the State of the State tonight. Just go to WTMJ.com or to the WTMJ mobile app.
Decision day for New Hampshire voters. Folks are casting ballots right now in that state's primary. Republican voters considering former President Donald Trump or former Ambassador Nikki Haley. 22 delegates at stake for Republicans.
Coming up, eyeing Cooperstown.
Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery. And from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry, "Replace! Replace!" But the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenix are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenix Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenix, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to Rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Shop the January New Year's sale on better quality furniture and mattresses at Ken Michaels Furniture.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur says he hasn't even thought about this yet. Brandon Snide has sports at 7:15.
Tuition is going up at Marquette University. Tuition going to increase 5% next year, surpassing $50,000 a year. The university citing inflation on goods and services for the rise. It's going to provide more than $180 million in financial aid this year. Tuition at Marquette's gone up about $6,000 since 2020.
More construction crews will be out on city streets this year as engineers are planning dozens of projects for Milwaukee roads. Engineer Kevin Muse telling TMJ4 News how they're approaching this.
Focused on high crash areas near schools. So that's really our priority with those raised crosswalks. But the idea is to slow traffic at that point of conflict with people crossing the street. And again, near schools, particularly kids, trying to make that as safe of a crossing as possible.
City planning an additional 10 miles of bike lanes as well this year.
Big day today. The Baseball Writers Association of America are going to announce the names of this year's Hall of Fame inductees from the organization's regular players ballot.
The front-runners among the holdovers from last year's vote include longtime Colorado Rockies slugger Todd Helton.
Take a good look. You won't see it for long.
Helton played 17 seasons with the Rockies. He won a batting title, 3 Gold Gloves. Last year fell just short of being selected. On the pitching side,
1 strike from 400 saves. There it is.
Billy Wagner got 422 saves, closing for 5 teams, and struck out a then-record 15 batters per 9 innings in 1999. He got 68% of the 75 required to be selected last year. Peter King, CBS News.
Manager Jim Leland was voted in by a special veterans committee last month. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:09.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Replacement windows and doors. Where do you start? Siding Unlimited is where. Why? Well, you know about Siding Unlimited's Contractor of the Year awards from Pella, right? But Siding Unlimited offers many other choices too. Wood, vinyl, fiberglass, traditional, contemporary. Siding Unlimited will work with your style and your budget. And whatever choices you make, be assured that Wisconsin's climate extremes will stay out there to look at, not inside to bother you. So, start with Siding Unlimited. Local, family-owned, honest and reliable, knowledgeable and skilled. And lots of options, too. You want windows, but think siding. Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best, America's best. SidingUnlimited.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Checking in with Debbie here at 7:10.
All right. Well, that accident in Kenosha County on northbound 94 at Highway... where was that one? That one was right around Highway C. That actually has been cleared out of the way. Now, we do still have very slippery conditions all over the place to the south and west, right around Elkhorn, for example. But then also, now we're starting to see some slippery conditions to the north through Ozaukee County as well. Icy conditions, I should say. Slippery stretches pretty much everywhere. So that's going to keep your speeds kind of in check, especially north and southbound on 43 and then east and westbound on 94 as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Nasty weather out there for this morning into the early afternoon hours with a winter weather advisory until 2 p.m. We'll see a mix of rain, sleet, snow, and freezing rain, foggy conditions as well. A glaze of ice and up to 2 inches of sleet and snow will be possible. For tonight, cloudy skies, mild and foggy, low temperatures in the low to middle 30s. Light rainfall is then possible for Wednesday with high temperatures near 40. More scattered rain chances through Thursday before cloudy skies and temperatures near 40 for Friday and Saturday. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 36 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
7:12 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Just to mention one more time, you can text the word bike to the WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. We were talking earlier about I saw this dude it was less than a motorcycle in the Marquette interchange yesterday, zipping around out there, getting some texts on that. This guy says, got to be a level 3 e-bike. Crazy dude.
A level 3 e-bike, okay.
It's going about 40 miles an hour at best, but definitely did not appear to be a legal vehicle for interstate travel.
Well, if you are dealing with slippery conditions this morning, one thing to help give you perspective today, pretty amazing story coming out from the military and the Homeland Security Group dealing with these 2 Navy SEALs who were killed during a secret mission overseas. So these commandos were launching from the USS Lewis B. Puller. It's a mobile sea base. And they're headed to an unflagged ship. This was last week. And this was one of these unflagged ships that was going to bring some Iranian-created weaponry to Yemen. And we all know what's going on with Yemen right now with the Houthis and whatnot. So these 2 Navy SEALs were part of this special secret situation. So illicit Iranian-made weapons being brought over there. John Kirby is the White House National Security Council.
Trying to interdict munitions and weapons that we believe were heading from Iran to the Houthis in Yemen.
So this is super dangerous. You're talking about an air, you're on the Arabian Sea. You have waves up and down. You're secretly getting next to this ship. You're putting up a ladder. Then you're climbing up this ladder to board this ship. And 2 SEALs plunged into the depths. And here's what happened. One of them was climbing up the ladder and slipped, right? So his name is Navy Special Warfare Operator 2nd Class Nathan Gage Ingram. Began climbing the ladder onto the boat, slipped, fell into the gap of the waves that had been created between the vessel and their small Navy combatant craft. So he went under. Navy Special Warfare Operator 1st Class Christopher Chambers jumped in after him to save him, jumped into the gap, because that's just what they do.
Underscores how dangerous the mission can be, and the dangers that these brave warriors are willing to face every day.
It's an instinctive act honed by years of training, they say. One teammate going to another's aid, but weighed down by, all the stuff they're wearing. You got body armor, weapons, heavy equipment. They plunged into the depths of the Arabian Sea, and they have not been seen since. They called off their search. So these 2 are gone. The White House obviously released a statement calling them both heroes. But something to think about today as you're dealing with the weather and cursing and getting frustrated by your everyday life. Just remember, we had 2 Navy SEALs lost.
7:15, Brandon Snide has sports coming up next.
Why settle for just the job when you could have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee new car dealer members have service, technician, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.jobs. That's ADAMM.jobs.
Hey, your furnace, even if it's in good shape, is not designed to be running 24/7. We had about a week of that in the bitter cold snap. Vince Vitrano here for Absolute Comfort HVAC. I'm certainly glad now that I had Brent and his son Drew out to our house months ago for a fall furnace tune-up. Gave me confidence that my furnace was going to keep running even as the temperatures dropped well below zero, keeping the family warm through that tough stretch. But put this number in your contacts. It's Absolute Comfort HVAC. It's a local, family-owned company that you'll want to call if your furnace gives out on you. Or might even want to call them now just to make sure that everything is operating. We're certainly nowhere near through winter yet. Tell them Vinny sent you. Brent and his son Drew, they'll respond to you quickly. They give you an honest assessment on what's happening with your furnace and the great value in the work that still needs to be done. Now's not the time when you want to be fumbling around with Google reviews, hoping somebody can get to you in maybe a matter of days. It's Absolute Comfort HVAC. Here's the number, 262-664-9284. And the website is absolutecomfortwi.com.
When you breathe well, you live better. Find out more at adventknows.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
For the second time in 3 nights, the Milwaukee Bucks taking care of business in the Motor City as they knock off the Detroit Pistons on Monday night for their 30th win of the season. This one by a final of 122-113.
Giannis back to Middleton. Middleton to try to move to third all-time in the Bucks record book. He will do just that. Chris Middleton passing the big dog on the three-pointer to put Milwaukee ahead by their largest lead of 11 in the midst of a 15-2 run. And move over, big dog. Cash Money is your third all-time leading scorer for the Bucks. That's behind one Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and one Giannis Antetokounmpo.
The call here on WTMJ as Cash Money making Bucks history on Monday against the team that once traded him to Milwaukee as he moves into third place in franchise history with now over 12,000 points.
It's just a testament of just what a pro is about. Again, it's just a testament of just all the hard work. It takes a lot to come, where he started and where he is now. It takes a lot of hard work, fortitude. He's a champion, obviously NBA champion. But more than anything else, I just love the influence that he has on our team, especially with the young guys.
Middleton would finish tonight with 26 points. Giannis with a triple-double, 31 points, 17 boards, and 10 assists, as the Bucks winning for the 5th time in 6 games. They'll return home tomorrow to host Cleveland. Over to the NFL, where the offseason is officially underway in Green Bay. It wasn't the ending the team was hoping for, but nonetheless, head coach Matt LaFleur quite impressed on the turnaround the NFL's youngest roster had throughout the course of an up-and-down season.
I think we were committed to our process throughout the entire season, and it's easy to get hung up on the end results, but it really comes back down to how you do things on a daily basis, how you're finding different ways to get better, and just sticking together, like fighting through some tough times. I think there's been a lot of growth, a lot of learning lessons. All in all, there's a lot of good that came out of this.
LaFleur also mentioning on Monday to the media, no decisions have been made with any of his assistant coaches, including defensive coordinator Joe Barry.
I haven't even thought about that at this stage. Kind of going through everything right now. I want to certainly sit down with every assistant before any decisions are made.
And lastly, Vinny, overdue college hoops. The 13th ranked Wisconsin Badgers looking to keep the good times rolling tonight in the Big Ten. They are in Minnesota to take on the Gophers. That tip-off is set for 6 p.m. So no more football, but
it's what we got, man.
You got good basketball
Badgers,
going on. Bucks
go
win.
Golden Eagles, go Bucks.
Marquette, Badgers. We're okay. We'll be okay.
Pitchers and catchers in what, like 6 weeks or
Not
so?
Not too far away.
Okay. 7:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ Now with Steve Scafidi.
I just don't like caucuses. Small number of people over-representing older voters, big time.
Get the latest news.
I've just about had enough of politicians pretending they're medical experts.
Hear the opinions.
Any 15-yard penalty should be automatically reviewable in playoff games. They're too important.
All in Wisconsin.
All I have to say to you to prove that point, fail Mary.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on WTMJ.
Maybe not right now. Hi all, Debbie Loziga here for Comfort Awnings, and maybe you're not thinking about relaxing outside at this moment. And if you are, I'm impressed. You're made of much hardier stuff than me. But for the rest of us, all we can do is dream. That's where the gang at Comfort Awnings comes in. They can help you picture your outdoor space in a whole new way. They can say, picture this. With a nice retractable awning, this whole section of your backyard, once blasted by direct sunlight, can be put into nice, cool, comfortable shade. That's how it worked with me. The guys at Comfort Awnings came to Casa de Loziga, saw what they had to work with, and said, we can do this for you. Here are some of the models and fabrics and colors that we can work with and how they work with your house. I made my choice, and they made their measurements and put in the order. And in no time at all, I had a brand new retractable awning installed and ready to go. Again, you may not be thinking about hanging out in your backyard, but this might just tip it in. How about a free motor? Yeah. If you order in the month of January, you get a free motor when you buy an awning or screens. Not going to hurt if you call them at 414-AWNINGS to find out. Go ahead, give them a call. Or you can check them out at comfortawnings.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Guthrie & Fry protects the water in my house. Guthrie & Fry has provided expert advice, quality service, and reliable water since 1974. Owners Sue and Rob are well known and very generous in the local community for supporting great causes that change lives. We've got their water softener. We've got their reverse osmosis system. Our water is crisp, clean, and clear. GFwater.com. It's Guthrie & Fry.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie & Fry.
Checking in with Debbie Loziga here at 722.
Yes. Southbound on 43, backing up right now from just south of Bender Road all the way down to about Locust. We got backups on the northbound side too, 43, from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Eastbound 94, you'll ride the brakes basically from the zoo all the way to about 27th Street. But if you take that back a step, it is going to be slow in Waukesha County as well. We're looking at delays from Highway F all the way to basically Calhoun. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
We've got a glaze of ice out there as this wintry mix comes down on southeast Wisconsin right now. Almost all of the listening area under a winter weather advisory. High temperature of 37 degrees today. At 7:23 on Wisconsin's Morning News, bringing Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. Actually, Niz, before we get to the particulars of the weather, something going down in your home school district there in Racine. A little bit of confusion among parents.
Yeah,
What's your
Racine
latest
Unified. So Racine Unified, we were catching word that they were having issues with buses this morning because of the conditions. So Racine Unified posting on Facebook that please be aware that buses may be running late this morning due to the weather conditions, and that we appreciate your patience. The trouble is that I think some parents are getting some crossed and mixed signals on where their kids are going, if their kids are going.
One parent, it seems, Niz, commented on the Facebook, said that my son got on the bus, they made it to the end of the street, bus driver turned around and dropped him back off. Said roads were unsafe.
What? Maybe they're like, who knows? Maybe there's confusion on like stop driving or something like that.
Yeah,
who knows,
definitely.
Right?
But does that look like, as you look at conditions this morning, look like a spot that's getting more ice than anything?
Yeah, definitely. I would say as long as you're a little bit away from the lake, yeah, totally. And right now Milwaukee's at 36 degrees. So like typically you'd be like, okay, we're good to go. We don't have to worry too much about freezing rain because that's 4 degrees above freezing. However, the ground is super cold right now from all the cold weather that we recently had. So it almost like acts like it hits. The rain hits on contact and it will freeze. But I do think conditions in the city of Milwaukee and close to the lake should be a little bit better than some of these outlining areas. I mean, Waukesha's sitting at 30 degrees, West Bend's at 30 degrees, and we have a pretty good area of rain that's moving in from the south. So, yeah, I think things are going to, if not already, be pretty icy out there this morning.
It's kind of the opposite is of when we have, it's cold enough for snow, but the ground is warm and it melts on contact, right? It's like the opposite effect.
100%. I mean, the ground is just super cold. I don't have a specific number on it, and it varies across the area. But we're at a point here where after last week and beyond, where we were super cold, the ground really, ground temperature really got cold. So, yeah, exactly opposite of it. Even if you're sitting at above freezing and you're driving along and you see your car says 34 degrees, don't think that the ground is just going to be wet this morning. We are, I think, looking at a pretty icy commute for most of the area. So yeah, take it easy out there, guys.
Rough conditions this morning, then like a lot of rain coming later on, eh?
Yeah, and I mean, it's coming down. I mean, already this is a pretty solid, steady area of rain that's lifting in here from Illinois. I do think the worst conditions are going to be this morning, and then by this afternoon, if there's any precipitation, I think we'll kind of see a lull and stuff. I think this afternoon should be fine. And then we're going to watch a secondary area of low pressure that, brings primarily rain to the area, which is kind of super bummer. Back's hurting today. Kids put me to work yesterday. I'm off TV side of things here, and I built a giant igloo in the front yard. And we had some hot chocolate in it last night. Nice. Everything was good. But
what's the headroom on that? Because the best forts are where almost small adult person can kind of sit upright in there. Are you good inside there?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, the kids can stand. The kids can stand. We got furniture in there.
Wow.
So pro tip, Bud Niznansky, my dad used to build igloos like this. The hardest part is getting the giant pile. So you stack up the biggest pile and you kind of pat it down as you go. And then you don't get it quite as big as what you want it to be because it would make for more work. What you do is as you dig it out, you make your door and you dig it out and you hollow out from the inside. You keep throwing that snow onto your pile and it grows as you expand it from the inside. Uh-huh. And then... yeah, it's hours of work, but when you got it, I'll tell you what, it is one of my strongest childhood memories when my dad would build that giant igloo. So I'm hoping that'll happen for my kids, and it'll be worth the 10 ibuprofens I have today.
Listen, maybe don't tell the kids we got 40 degrees for the high on Friday. I don't. How's that going to hang in there?
If I keep up with it. And I keep, because you can maintain it too. You keep hollowing it out and keep throwing snow on it or whatever. You could end up with a really hard, dense.
There you go.
If you just keep up with it as it tries to melt away. But I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Next level. Can you bring in some sort of heating mechanism in the thing?
Oh,
is there
good idea.
A little extension cord? Can we get AC power out to it?
At least a gutter system.
my daughter Olivia asked the same thing about that last night, and I said, Olivia, do you really think a heating source in the igloo is a good idea? She's like,
Dad, it's dark out here. Can we get some power?
We do have lighting. We do have little LED lights and stuff, so that works out pretty cool.
Outstanding.
But yeah, no, it's I'll snap it. I took video of it, done the socials. What we built last night. We had hot chocolate in there. Kids didn't want hot chocolate. They wanted ice cream cones in the igloo, which I don't know if that really was.
It's nice and cozy in there. You did well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, Vinny, I hear we got some pickleball tomorrow.
Are you in on that? That's right. You, me, and Cass are out there. So the Milwaukee Admirals have a pickleball thing going. They're having pickleball night,
Nice.
and then several of us are going to do a little pickleball earlier in the day to help promote it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. This will be the first time in a while. You know, I had some knee trouble. I think I'm good to go. So we'll see. I'll be a little rusty, but I'm looking forward to it.
Knees is falling apart.
I think I'm good to go is not a good place to be, buddy. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I haven't quite tested it yet to that level. But good point.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow, my friend.
All right. Eric, Vinny, we'll see you later, guys.
See you,
Drive
buddy.
safe, everybody.
Quick reminder, Racine Unified School District posting that buses are running late this morning because of the weather conditions. We have some calls out. We're working the story because we're hearing from a lot of parents who say that's not true, that their buses aren't even picking up their kids in Racine. So still trying to get our arms around that one. We'll get you as many details as we can.
News about your money this morning, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average back up above 38,000. Closed up 138 points to 38,002. NASDAQ at 15,360. That was up almost 50. And the S&P 500 up about 11 points on Monday to 48.50. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite Financial Planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com.
Chronic pain can be very bossy. What do I mean? It tells you what you can or can't do. Sometimes it even has the audacity to keep you from working.
I missed almost 3 weeks of work, and I was no longer able to play tennis. The pain was really debilitating sometimes. I missed Thanksgivings.
Abby was ready to put the bossy bad back in her past. And that's when she discovered QC Kinetics and their non-surgical treatments for pain. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine with tens of thousands of satisfied patients, people who have experienced real lasting relief without drugs and without surgery.
It has just been the most life-changing, amazing experience. Not only life-changing, but career-saving. I get to continue to do the career that I love. I'm playing tennis again.
Stop letting that joint pain boss you around. Start with a free consultation at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Getting new windows and doors from Pella is a big investment. I mean, how do you enjoy a window? Times like this for sure, right? Good morning to do it. Maybe being all cozy in your house, watching the snow fall outside through a bigger or redesigned space. That's enjoyable. Maybe it's sitting by the window without the chill of a draft coming through or the worry of lost savings as your heating bills keep going up. Here's the fix. Replace those drafty old and or ugly windows and doors with beautiful new products from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. They're custom designed if you need them to be, always tailored to your space and style, and this month easier to afford. Here's the deal that Pella's offering right now. You book the work in your home by the 31st of this month. 0% interest for up to 36 months. That's no interest on your financing for up to 36 months if you book the work by January 31st. Hurry now to get in on that deal. Visit PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply.
Hey, Brian. I think it's time to get serious about new windows and front door for our home.
I agree. It will save us money in the long run to eliminate the draft.
I was thinking more about our curb appeal, but yes, the draft thing too.
J&J Contractors in Greendale have been around for 40 years and have great reviews.
Go give them a call.
J&J Contractors' skilled and certified team uses high-quality materials for all your exterior needs. J&J Contractors do it all. Windows, doors, siding, roofing, and gutters.
Hey, Gene Miller for Forest Ridge Senior Residences, a caring community known for its small-town friendliness while offering luxury living in a big way. Nestled in the village of Hales Corners, Forest Ridge delivers first-class amenities, accommodating active lifestyles with entertainment and transportation. Enter through the fully renovated community center with exquisite dining to see our brand-new 1- and 2-bedroom apartments, or your rent is frozen until 2026. Come tour Forest Ridge Senior Residences today. Call 414-485-9507.
Discover wants everyone to feel special with 24/7 customer service as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Limitations apply.
It's 7:33. I'm Adam Robertson. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Tuesday, January 23rd. Your top story, weather making a mess on the roads. Let's throw it over to Debbie for a look at what's going on out there.
All right, road conditions are pretty dismal right now. Lots of slippery stretches, icy conditions to the north now and also to the south and west. So no matter where you go, especially those bridges, overpasses, on and off ramps, elevated roadways, they're going to be very slippery. Please use extra caution. Keep your speeds in check. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A winter weather advisory in effect for most of southeast Wisconsin until 2 this afternoon. For that wintry mix, glaze of ice, up to 2 inches of snow, and foggy conditions we're seeing today. High around 37 degrees. It'll be cloudy, foggy, and mild overnight tonight, with lows down to around 34. And that's where we sit right now in Milwaukee with freezing rain and 34 degrees. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, weather will have a big impact in southeast Wisconsin throughout the morning into the early afternoon. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore.
Here's this band of precipitation moving in that is lifting off to the north, and that is going to keep things going for the next couple of hours. In fact, the heaviest rates of precipitation will move in through the mid to late morning hours today and towards lunchtime.
Meanwhile, weather having an impact on school buses in Racine this morning. The Racine Unified School District posting on Facebook, buses are running behind on routes due to icy conditions. Now, WTMJ has reached out to the district's office for an update on class status this morning, as well as the First Student Bus System for an update on transportation status for students. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up at 7:40. The author of a 14-week abortion ban proposal in Wisconsin is defending her exclusion of exceptions for rape or incest, saying 14 weeks is enough time to make a decision.
Representative Amanda Nedwiski wrote the bill and says it's not about denying women health care.
I have demonstrated my commitment to women's health with support for over-the-counter birth control. Sadly, I also know that we are in a country that has witnessed a disintegration of the value of life.
But med student Madeline Welch says she doesn't see it that way.
Representative Nedwiski mentioned that we need to stop exploiting the life of the unborn. But what about exploiting the lives of those who are forced to carry out a pregnancy they do not want?
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
And tonight in New Hampshire, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley hoping to upset former President Donald Trump in that state's primary. CBS News political correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns in Salem, New Hampshire with more.
The Secretary of State is projecting record turnout, nearly 40,000 more voters. He's saying he's expected to turn out in the Republican primary here than turned out in 2016, the last Republican competitive race. But overall, voters are just, not excited about their options, but are seeing this as a chance to turn out and vote.
There will be 22 delegates at stake for Republicans tonight. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
Looking for a delicious value? Sendik's Quality Friday Fish Fry is the best around. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
The pain was so bad I could barely walk, and now after stem cell treatment, I run marathons.
Now, this is an exaggeration, but I do hear about unbelievable miracle outcomes, and I have to ask, do you really believe them? If they were true, these biological treatments wouldn't even have to be advertised. Truth is, stem cell effectiveness is nowhere near 100%. It's expensive, and it doesn't last. At Rejuvenix, our FDA-approved pharmacological treatments ease inflammation and reduce pain. They're precisely administered to where your pain lives, and they work. Will the pain reduction last forever? No. But in some cases, relief has lasted as long as 24 months, and in most cases, insurance has paid for the treatments entirely. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenix Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
7:37 on Wisconsin's Morning News. We've been trying to get our arms around what's happening in the Racine Unified School District as the district insists that school is on today, but we understand that some of the buses are having trouble getting around. Joining us on the line, we have Stacy Tapp, one of the chief communications folks at Racine Unified. Stacy, appreciate your time this morning. I know you're fielding a lot of phone calls, so just is school on in Racine Unified this morning?
Good morning. Yes, school is on today. We are experiencing some significant delays with buses and having some challenges with some of those routes as they get out to, especially some of those side streets and some of the more tricky areas with the road conditions. So we're asking for a lot of patience from our families and understanding. I do understand that some students may have been dropped back off at home, so we're working to get communication out to those families, but school is on today.
Should parents have their children at bus stops at a certain time? Do we know when they should get back out there?
I think, we're planning those routes to happen as normal, but there's no normal when
Right.
road conditions are the way they are. So, that's why we're just asking for some patience and understanding, because buses will very likely be delayed in a lot of situations.
Stacy, you know how bad the conditions are out there? If you have bus drivers who are turning the bus around, obviously they have concerns about the road conditions.
We've been driving in certain areas. I certainly can't speak to the entire community, but I know that, some of the main roads are much easier to navigate, whereas I'm hearing that some of the side roads or different areas are worse than others.
Is there any website or phone number or that we want to direct parents to, or should they wait to hear from you guys?
They can certainly call our bus company for student, but it probably would be more efficient to wait to hear from them as they're trying to get communication out to a lot of families.
But it's still okay for parents to drive their children to school if they feel safe to do so.
Absolutely. And if anytime we have significant weather conditions, we remind families that they can certainly call the school, let them know that their child's not going to be there due to the weather conditions, and that's considered an excused absence.
Stacy, appreciate your time this morning. I know it's super busy there. So again, the message from Racine Unified Schools, school is on today. Many of the buses might be running behind schedule, but there is school today in Racine. 20 minutes before 8 o'clock on Wisconsin's Morning News. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10, right here on WTMJ.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Make a New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Help protect your identity and finances with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. LifeLock detects identity threats you may miss on your own. And if you become a victim, LifeLock will work to fix it. LifeLock is the New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Save up to 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com. Use promo code NEWS to save 25%.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
AccuRite Tax and Financial Services has Toshiba copiers and network printers from James Imaging Systems. President CEO Jason Rose.
We have 17 different tax preparers on staff, and we have 4 printers running pretty much nonstop. And during tax season, it's absolutely crazy.
And Jason, those printers from James Imaging Systems have to work just as hard and reliably as your people do.
Oh yeah, yes. Something comes up that's an issue, we have somebody that we can call that can help us resolve the issue very quickly and efficiently.
Reliable printing, reliable service. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. That helps tremendously keep us being productive, keeps those tax returns going.
Jason, bottom line for your practice?
Happy clients, happy workers, happy me.
Don't worry, be happy with document imaging technology and extraordinary local support from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, Highway 100 and Layton Avenue, 23rd and Lincoln. Great stores, great cause, and unbelievable bargains. You're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Checking in with Debbie here, 743.
All right. Well, definitely some slow speeds out there. It's a good thing because you want to be safe. Southbound on 41, backing up from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Burleigh. Southbound 43, backing up from before Bender Road all the way down past Locust, and then again across over the high-rise bridge. Northbound side, we're seeing backups from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Kiev. We've also got 4394 northbound slowing down right out of the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield curve up past the KK River. And eastbound 94 going to be a solid ride basically from the Zoo interchange all the way to 27th Street. Very slick conditions, and I'm seeing a lot of icy conditions as well, especially to the north and to the south and west. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A winter weather advisory is in effect until 2 p.m. this afternoon. We'll see a wintry mix of sleet, snow, freezing rain, and rain. A glaze of ice and up to 2 inches of sleet and snow will be possible. For tonight, cloudy skies, mild temperatures, and foggy conditions as lows drop down into the 30s. Wednesday, we'll see the chance for just some cold, light rainfall with high temperatures close to 40, keeping the mild temperatures and scattered rain chances through Thursday. Then cloudy skies Friday into Saturday with high temperatures in the upper 30s to near 40. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 35 degrees. Looking ahead this morning, we've got Peter Fagan's mom in studio with us, whom I argue, based on a previous conversation with Peter, we'd have had her anyway and really enjoyed having it. But there is a lot to this accomplished woman. Fagan, of course, the president of the Milwaukee Bucks and Fiserv Forum. Remember, I think we were talking about the first game of the season this year at Fiserv Forum for the Bucks this past fall, and Peter was saying having his mom in town for the game kind of adds to the stress of making sure that everything is good.
We've got our employees to kind of think about, and then, of course, I have my mother in town today, so I'm sure I'll be tending to her and hearing her criticisms about some of the operation during the game.
It would have been nice if this happened. Does she offer her various opinions on it?
Is this the way the lighting should be? I don't know. The music is awfully loud. You don't think it's disturbing to some people?
So clearly we would have Peter if she were in town, right? But Mrs. Fagan has a book out, and she's got an event at the Jewish Community Center tonight. The book starts with her family's escape from Nazi Germany when she was just 2 years old, growing up an immigrant on the West Coast, her ascendancy in the very competitive advertising world back in the 1960s, and then, of course, how she raised her 3 sons, including Peter. So Barbara Fagan and Peter joining us in studio later this morning, just after the 8 o'clock news. Sports with Brandon next.
3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission. You can't find a lower rate of commission, and you won't be able to find better knowledge, service, and real estate expertise than you'll find with our agents at Benefit Realty. Because I know that's what you expect. Now, I'm not sure you'll be able to find the highest caliber of agents everywhere, but I can promise that's what you'll get here. So choose Benefit Realty to exceed your expectations, and you'll pay less for more. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. Whether you're an active or passively active home shopper, our agents want you to be completely up to date with what's out there and what's brand new to the market. With our instant emailed MLS updates, you'll never miss out on what could be the home of your dreams. All you have to do is call and tell us where to search, give us a price range, and soon you'll be totally in tune with your desired real estate market. Remember, MLS searches show you everything. Some of the other real estate sites don't. So call Benefit Realty today, where you'll pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Your family, your memories, our priority. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
After losing to the 49ers in the NFC's divisional round, the offseason in Green Bay got underway on Monday as the Packers will now begin the work for 2024. Quarterback Jordan Love sharing some details on what he plans to work on as he preps for next season.
I'm going to look at the tape and, that'll be my process kind of in the offseason, go back, watch the games, and find areas I need to improve. But, I think when we get back to OTA, it's just, obviously some of these late 2-minute drills to go win the game is areas that we didn't, capitalize on throughout the season. So that'll be an area to look at. But I think there's so many areas I'll have to look at and break down on film. Those critical situations when you got to go win it, find better answers and better ways to go, take advantage and find a way to win.
Love finished the year with over 4,000 passing yards and 32 passing touchdowns, including a postseason berth, a playoff win, and lots of praise from his head coach.
Yeah, he had a hell of a year. Let's not look past that. He really did. Just to see the growth. I talked about it the other night. Obviously, the results speak for themselves. The growth of him is just the commander out there. He's an extension of us, and I thought the ownership that he showed, the leadership that he showed, was a great sign for us.
LaFleur also mentioning on Monday at his press conference, no decisions have been made with any of his assistant coaches just yet. Over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks won their second game in 3 days over Detroit. This one by a final of 122-113.
Giannis sinks his talents in with a rebound. He'll go the other way. Throws on the jet, spins inside. What a move as he lays it in with another one coming on the house.
Dave Kane on the call right here on WTMJ as Giannis would finish the night with a triple-double, his fourth of the year with 31 points, 17 boards, and 10 assists. Middleton would also add 26 points, a big night for him, passing Glenn the Big Dog Robinson for third all-time scoring in Bucks franchise history. And with that win last night, Milwaukee now improving to 30-13 on their season. They'll get set to host Cleveland on Wednesday night.
Mark Tauscher up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. At Creative Planning, we offer full-service, comprehensive wealth management services through our in-house team of wealth managers, accountants, and attorneys to integrate all aspects of your financial life. Get all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house. Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Time to ramp up your business in 2024. Work smarter with Walker Media Agency, building your brand. Vince Vitrano here, Matt Walker and his team. They've rebuilt a ton of websites for Wisconsin companies, big and small. Things like online publications, software solutions, even a company that rents campers. You can do it direct online. And Walker Media Agency has all of their websites looking attractive, they're functional, and this is super important, they are optimized for search engine results. A beautiful website that nobody can find, that doesn't come up on the top of the Google searches, that's not working for you. And are you, when new customers get to the digital front door of your business, are you confident that they're going to be as proud of your company as you are? Even if you wonder about the answer to that, get Matt Walker and Walker Media Agency working for you. You get to focus on what you do best, your company's core product, and start that relationship with Matt at WalkerWTMJ.com. That's WalkerWTMJ.com.
This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. The Energy Star ratings for windows are getting a lot tougher to get the tax credits you're going to want to take advantage of. Fortunately, we still have options that will qualify you for those tax credits. Now, I can sit here and talk benefits of this product or what's great about that product. So can everybody else. But what a lot of operations can't do is, with complete confidence, stand behind the crew that's going to be on that next job. Talk is cheap, I get it, but our people are exceptional. How do I know? Because me and Vito handpick every single person that makes our team. Some make the cut, a lot don't. And that's why you can be confident that the windows we install for you will be top quality, installed right, and that you're going to get great service. And that's never failed us. So for your home's new windows, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Traffic is sponsored by the Milwaukee Boat Show.
Don't miss the Milwaukee Boat Show, January 19 through 28, State Fair Park. See over 300 boats from more than 80 manufacturers. We have the boats.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
As we send things here to Debbie, road conditions tough, particularly in Racine. Just want to remind our Racine families, Racine Unified School District is open today despite some of the difficulty buses are having getting around. So just want to confirm, we did check in with Racine Unified Schools. There is school today, but many of the buses may be delayed.
Yes. That.
Yes, and you know why.
Yeah. We got lots of nasty conditions around the area. Icy, slippery stretches. Northbound 94, just north of Ryan Road, we've got a semi that went off the road, off into the embankment on the right. So just be extra careful as you're driving through there. Give them a wide berth, though, because it's like way off. Icy conditions along the Rock Freeway, also along 43 through Ozaki County. Pretty treacherous stuff out there, so you do want to be extra careful. Of course, we've got delays, but it's hard to tell whether those delays are because of volume or because everybody's just trying to be smart. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Could get up to 2 inches of snow if it's cold enough where you are. Right now, it's this wintry mix, and it's foggy as well with this glaze of ice that's forming on the very cold surfaces. High of 37 degrees today. Tonight's low down to 34 will be cloudy as well. Wednesday, we could be dealing with light rain once again with fog in the morning and scattered rain on Thursday with a high of 39 degrees. Right now, Milwaukee at 36.
Idea Man.
All my coaches would always say, just because someone asks you a question doesn't mean you need to answer it their way.
Innovative.
One of the first times we met, Mercure and I were interviewing you and Kuhn, John Kuhn. Okay. We were doing it at Radio City, and I knew a kid way back when named Scott Tozier, and I called you Scott twice in the interview.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
It never makes any sense because I'm sure right after you guys left, I'm sure John and I were probably like, look at that idiot.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
7:55, Wisconsin's Morning News. Tausch on the line with us this morning. All right, everybody's saying the right things at 1265 Lombardi. Tausch in the season-ending news conferences. Matt LaFleur, we're going to look at all the film. I haven't made any decisions yet. We're going to learn from this, et cetera, et cetera. What are these few days like right after the season so abruptly ends and minicamp is a long way off?
Yeah, I think there's a finality to it. From a player's standpoint, you get all your stuff, and if you're a free agent, you take everything and you just kind of think, hopefully I'll be back and I can put this stuff back in there. But from a coaching standpoint, I think it's tough because you have to make decisions somewhat quickly because, especially you make it to the divisional round, if you're going to make changes, whether it's defensive coordinator or other position coaching spots, you want to make sure you have access to everyone that you want to have access to. So it's not as easy as just saying, I'm going to take a couple beats, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to be – you want to make sure you're making a good, solid decision. But time is of the essence, too. So there is a sadness about the season ending. There is a bunch of uncertainty that you don't know. You go through your exit interviews and you do all that, and everybody says all the right things. But typically when you walk out, you have a pretty good vibe as far as, yeah, I'm going to be back, or I get the sense they're moving in a different direction. So it's just a ton of uncertainty, and that's why you keep fighting and trying to get drag the season out or finish the season as strongly as you can because, as LaFleur said a bunch of times yesterday, this group, as was constituted, it's going to be about a 20 or 25% turnover on your roster next year.
So what are those exit interviews like? Are they nerve-wracking? What are they asking you specifically? Or is it more of just I missed a few blocks here, you did really well there?
See, but if it's a typical workplace, your manager asks you first, well, how do you think things went, Mark, this season there at the tackle position?
Yeah, It really is, because so you go through a full season and you spend a ton of time with your position coach. You're not spending a ton of time with the head coach. So first off, it's always great to be the veteran because you get to go meet first. So there, it goes by seniority. And some guys, you get in there, if you're behind the quarterback, you're going to probably be 50 minutes late because they're going to be sitting in there doing Lord knows what. But what's good about it is you get to have open dialogue. They'll ask you what you didn't like about the season, what you didn't like about this, and then they'll be very honest with you as far as how they felt your season went. So I always loved it. I thought, communication and being honest, that's the best way to do. I think it doesn't matter if it's NFL football or if it's radio or whatever else. I always appreciate good, honest feedback as long as you have an open forum to kind of you can almost festivus you want to. I think that's a word, right? Festivus.
It is today.
We'll go with it.
You can air out your grievances, but you don't want to be one of those guys that's just sitting in there complaining about everything. You shoot straight and you get good feedback back, and then hopefully that helps them make a decision as far as if you're going to be back, and that typically is what you're hoping for.
Thanks, my friend. Good to talk to you. We'll talk again tomorrow. Mark Tauscher with us every morning at 10 minutes before 8 o'clock. Business headlines are up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Rich Kirchen.
The former Willow Run Golf Club north of I-94 in Pewaukee heads for a new use. Land by Label Development proposes a residential neighborhood consisting of up to 460 apartments and homes. A year after opening in Kenosha County, Haribo of America ramps up production of its gummy candies. That drives the need for a larger warehouse the company leases in nearby Bristol. Another Jersey Mike's Subs shop for Southeast Wisconsin, this one in Delavan on Geneva Street. Madison Burrows is the co-franchisee and a former Jersey Mike's manager. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
According to the U.S. debt clock, our debt is over $32 trillion and climbing. The question is, how do we pay it off? One of the most likely answers is increasing taxes. Now think about your retirement accounts. Do you want to pay taxes on some of that money now when rates are historically low, or later when rates are potentially higher? At Drake & Associates, we can help you create a plan so your retirement is tax efficient as possible. If you'd like to continue your education, we have our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides on retirement tax savings. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text TAX to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting TAX to 414-409-9982. When taxes go up, will you be ready? Call or text now.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Commercial insurance continues to get more complex. Here's Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Thanks, Vince. Insurance companies continue to be challenged by catastrophic storms and inflation pressures. The insurance company response will be to differentiate between which of their accounts are profitable and which are not. As a result, you'll need a strategy to deal with the strict underwriting demands and pricing requirements that are now in place. You will need to fully understand how company underwriters view your account. If your agent is only providing a quote, your business and profitability are at risk, and you're with the wrong agent.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
Sharing market insights and the related impact while laying out strategic options for your business is what R&R Insurance does best. Our clients have trusted R&R to guide them for over 48 years. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Your hometown hub for everything that matters. The latest news, traffic, weather, and sports on Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 8 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, January 23rd, our top story, icy roads causing confusion in Racine.
I'm Eric Bilstead. The voting begins in New Hampshire.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Brutal conditions out on the roads. Icy, very slippery in a lot of areas. We've got northbound 94. Just before the ramp from Ryan Road, we got a semi that went way off into the ditch on the right shoulder. So be prepared for some very slippery conditions, and slower speeds will probably do you well. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
So what we have right now is a wintry mix across southeast Wisconsin. Could see up to 2 inches of snow when it's all said and done. Some folks will just get a trace, as what we get is mostly rain and freezing rain and a glaze of ice on top. High of 37 degrees today. Cloudy, foggy conditions tonight with a low down to 34. Milwaukee temp at 36 right now. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, this weather having an impact on school buses, particularly in Racine this morning. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live in the Breaking News Center with what we know about school. Adam?
That's right, Vince. RUSD Chief of Communications Officer Stacy Tapp confirming to Wisconsin's Morning News last hour that classes are on as scheduled in Racine this morning, though she did acknowledge several bus routes are experiencing significant delays navigating these icy roads.
We're asking for a lot of patience from our families and understanding. I do understand that some students may have been dropped back off at home, so we're working to get communication out to those families, but school is on today.
And Tapp says parents can ultimately make the decision to transport kids to class or can use an excused absence if it's unsafe to drive. We do still have a call out, Vince, to First Student Bus Services for comment on reports that kids were picked up and then dropped back off at their homes. Live in the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts.
Rough conditions throughout the morning. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore on the impact.
Here's this band of precipitation moving in that is lifting off to the north, and that is going to keep things going for the next couple of hours. In fact, the heaviest rates of precipitation will move in through the mid to late morning hours today and towards lunchtime.
Winter weather advisory remains in effect through this afternoon. The complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in 6 minutes.
They are at the polls in New Hampshire today.
Donald Trump rallied supporters in the lakeside town of Laconia last night.
We are really going to rock in New Hampshire.
He's been leading in the pre-election polls, but Nikki Haley has been crisscrossing the state, making this closing argument.
70% of Americans have said they don't want a Trump-Biden rematch.
This state has a strong modern track record of choosing the eventual GOP nominee. The last time it didn't was when John McCain upset George W. Bush here 24 years ago. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Governor Evers gives his State of the State address tonight.
Governor Evers will deliver the yearly address at the state capitol in Madison, recapping an eventful 2023 in Wisconsin, with the shared revenue deal, ballpark funding, and the Supreme Court's decision to throw out the state's legislative maps. The governor also looking forward to an election year in the battleground state, with the RNC coming to Milwaukee, partisan controversy continuing to swirl around the state's election system, and abortion already proving to be a major issue. Following the speech, there will be a Republican response offered by Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
You can watch a stream of the State of the State tonight on our website, WTMJ.com, or on the WTMJ mobile app.
The author of a 14-week abortion ban proposal defending her exclusion of exceptions for rape or incest, saying 14 weeks is enough time to make a decision.
Representative Amanda Nedwiski wrote the bill and says it's not about denying women health care.
I have demonstrated my commitment to women's health with support for over-the-counter birth control. Sadly, I also know that we are in a country that has witnessed a disintegration of the value of life.
But med student Madeline Welch says she doesn't see it that way.
Representative Nedwiski mentioned that we need to stop exploiting the life of the unborn. But what about exploiting the lives of those who are forced to carry out a pregnancy they do not want?
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Coming up, a combination of words I never want put together. Cicada and apocalypse.
That story next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:09.
Marquette University's tuition set to go up 5% next year. It means it'll surpass $50,000 a year. Spokesperson for the private university citing inflation as well as the rise of other costs. Additionally, the university will provide more than $180 million in financial aid this year. Tuition at Marquette has gone up about $6,000 a year since 2020, and about $14,000 in all since 2015.
Swarms of cicadas are on the way. In fact, they're calling it, Vince, a simultaneous explosion of bugs.
To where?
Here.
Cover your ears. Because scientists at Tennessee Tech say a once-in-200-year cicada apocalypse is on the way across more than a dozen states in the South and Midwest. They're expecting more than 1 trillion noisy red-eyed insects from 2 different broods to begin to emerge in late April. Researchers say warmer weather makes conditions optimal for cicada survival. It'll be the first time varied species are unleashed at almost the same time since 1803. The infestation is expected to last for about 6 weeks. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
So according to the website Cicada Mania,
which a lot of folks probably have bookmarked,
and it's dedicated to cicadas, obviously, Illinois and Indiana will be the lucky states that will see both broods together.
Do they do a whole bunch of damage? I don't know. Like, do they eat up crops and stuff?
Everywhere.
Or they just bug you?
They are very loud. I have a brood that is actually nesting underneath a tree in my backyard. So every year they are so unbelievably loud. Unbelievable.
You take care of that brood there, Debbie.
I don't know how to do that. They come out of the ground. I mean, you see the little holes. They're about the size, a little smaller than a quarter.
Right.
And then they climb up on my fence, and then they like shed their outer skin.
Oh yeah,
or
those are the ones where they
they are
fat.
ugly as sin. Oh my gosh. But yeah.
But do they damage anything, or they're just there?
No, they're just there, and they make noise and make holes in my ground.
Messy.
Yeah.
Because you step on them, you drive on them.
Oh, yeah,
they
the dogs
land
love
on you.
eating the shells, too. It's like, good Lord.
And then also, it's the end of the world. Okay.
That's the apocalypse part.
8:11 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first. And then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through the end of February, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has provided more than 2.4 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Get a tax refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt now. No fee refund advance is offered to eligible clients. Application required. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
You just can't pass on Less is Glass. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Checking in with Debbie here at 8:12.
Okay, well, they're still working on this accident northbound 94 north of Ryan Road. Semi went way off of the road into the embankment on the right shoulder. Delays pretty much everywhere, but the worst are going to be on southbound 43 from Bender Road all the way down past Locust. Northbound slowing from Fond du Lac up to Keefe. Eastbound 94 going to be solid from the Zoo interchange all the way to 27th Street. And then, of course, you got your road conditions. Pretty treacherous out there. Mostly slippery stretches and ice-covered areas all over the place, so be careful. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Going to be ugly through the day here, this wintry mix hanging around. On the high end, if it's snow out where you live, could be up to 2 inches. Some folks might only get a trace as most of it is rain and a little bit of ice mixed in. High of 37 degrees today, and will stay cloudy and foggy tonight with a low down to 34. Milwaukee temp at 35 right now.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
At 8:14 on Wisconsin's Morning News, just letting you know we are on top of the situation in Racine. Racine Unified Schools are open today. If you live there and you're waiting for the bus to pick up the kids, could be late.
Sounds like they've had issues with some of the bus routes, just too slippery, and they've also had some issues where some bus drivers didn't want to take the kids because they didn't want to get them in a vehicle that would be hard to control. So there's some kids that are still at home, and they're all trying to get that figured out. So be patient today in Racine.
It caused a little bit of confusion as parents were saying, wait, is school on or no? The bus picked my kid up and then dropped him back off. Like, what is happening? So we can't tell you Racine Unified is in session today. Many buses are running late there. Parents are free to keep their kids home if they would prefer. Also can drive your kid to school if you prefer to get your children there that way. But we're on top of that sitch this morning. Excited to kick off this part of the show with a guest whom you know and his mom, whom I'm fascinated for you to meet and hear from today for a number of different reasons. Now, he is the president of our Milwaukee Bucks and Fiserv Forum. She is the reason we're talking today. Peter Fagan and his mother, Barbara, are in studio with us this morning. You look nervous over there. Are you okay?
No, I'm being watched. Now I've got my mother. I feel like there's a behavioral part of it. So I'm going to listen a lot more than I usually do.
Barbara, it's so wonderful to have you today. I'm sorry the weather isn't better here.
Well, thanks so much. It's great to be with you.
So Mrs. Fagan is an immigrant to this country. She's written an extraordinary and timely book about her family's escape from Nazi Germany and her ascendancy in a male-dominated business world and how she's raised 3 sons, including our guy Peter here. All of that to follow. I do want to start with this because, Mrs. Fagan, I knew we were going to love you because we had some fun with Peter earlier this Buck season. I think it was first game of the year.
Might have been opening night.
Yeah, and he had mentioned that you were going to be in town for the game, and he was hosting you at the game. And he told us that you are not only his biggest fan, but can be his biggest critic. I want you to hear this. Does she offer her various opinions on it?
Is this the way the lighting should be? I don't know. The music is awfully loud. You don't think it's disturbing to some people?
Is he really like that when you go to do bug him about it?
Not true.
I don't remember that.
It doesn't sound like you.
I'm his greatest fan, and I'm a great fan of Fiserv Forum and the way it operates and runs. I think they're doing a fabulous job.
It must be so fun when you walk around with your son and know that he's done so well here and the Bucks have done so well here since he's been a part of the organization.
It's a thrill. It's a real thrill. It really, really
Does
is.
he introduce you around and stuff?
Sure.
Oh, good.
Yep.
That's a terrible question, Vince. How could I not introduce my mom around? That's a terrible question.
I bet people love to meet her, though. This your mom?
Oh, they love the mom. Right. Always, yes.
Most popular person in the arena, I imagine.
So let's start on the reason that you're here. This book, your family's escape from Nazi Germany in 1940. The book is called My American Dream, and it really connected with me on that level because my late grandparents lived on the south side here in Milwaukee. And their next door neighbor, and I remember this as a kid because it was a story that was told over and over again. Next door neighbor to my grandparents had a very similar story of, I believe it was out of occupied Austria at the time, but left with what was on their backs in a very well-coordinated effort that they talked about for weeks, if not months, of how they were going to pull it off. And this was something that my family, that we talked about, that we knew the folks next door, they escaped these conditions. How extraordinary.
Well, our situation was very different from that because my father, who was Jewish, and my mother, who was Lutheran, did not have great plans. My father had been in the German Air Force in World War I, and his feeling was that he had given to Germany, so Germany would always take care of him. So he had a sister who left and encouraged him to leave, but he said, no, I'm fine here, despite all the persecution that was going on of Jews. He no longer could work. After I was born, he really looked after me. He took me to a churchyard across the street to play, and they had yellow benches for Jews to sit on, and they had to wear yellow stars. And my father refused to do that because he was a German, and Germans would take care of him. Finally, he realized that he had to get out, and this was very late as it related to World War II. So in July of 1940, he frantically scrambled around trying to get visas and appropriate documentation and money. You had to have American money to be able to pay your fare. And he had a sister who lived in New York who sent money for him, but there was no money for my mother or me. So he had to scramble around trying to find someone who would support a trip for us. And he finally got a group of Quakers and another religious group to help pay our fares. And we got on this train because there was no way anymore to get across the Atlantic. You know, at first we were supposed to go on a ship out of Italy, the Rex. And my father was all set to take us to Italy and we'll go on the Rex. And they said, no more Rex, no more ships across the Atlantic because of the German submarines. So the question was, how are we going to get out of here? And finally, he got passage on this train that left Berlin in July of 1940, went for 17 days. I mean, try to imagine going on a 17-day trip with a 2.5-year-old.
Oh, forget it.
I mean, it's just
in the best conditions, right?
Beyond the beyond-o. Very hard to imagine. And it was a grueling, terrifying trip. 17 days on a dirty, terrible train. There were often days when there was no food for people, nothing to drink. And my father had $10.50 for our whole family. And we were going to America. He knew no one. They had no connections, no idea how to make a life in America. All they knew was we're getting out of here. And the train was stopped 14 times.
And each time, I imagine, they were very frightened.
They had to show all of their documentation. Sure. They had to have their luggage inspected, and they had very little luggage, just what they could carry. Terrified that they would be taken off the train, and God knows what would happen to them at that point. So the train went from Berlin through Lithuania, across Russia, including Siberia, through China, parts of China, Korea, and finally to Japan. And from Yokohama, we took a Japanese ship, the Hikawa Maru, to Seattle. And there we were in Seattle. And, you know, as I said, my father had no idea what will become of us. As he said in his journal, which I discovered not very long ago, 3/4 of the way around the world into the unknown. So,
Peter, is this a story that, because every family is different, I wish I had asked more questions as a young person of my grandparents and learned some more of this. Is this a story that you've heard many times over, or do you feel like, geez, I need to buy this book?
No. And I'm not buying the book. I mean, I better get a comp issue of the book. If there's any. No, this was kind of an epiphany when my mom and her sister found the journal. and kind of went through it. And I think if you read through the book, there's really kind of like they went through life not really going through details of this story, which is kind of fascinating as we go through it. So I think we had an inkling of like this was our grandparents' journey, and we knew them like, you know, through our childhood and kind of teenage years, but no idea of kind of the gravity of like what this story was about.
Peter Fagan and Barbara Fagan are our guests in the studio. I want to take a quick break, and so much more to get to about everything that happened after you got to America and how that message resonates today. We'll do that right after the break. Next. First, we'll get an update on the roads. Debbie, what do you got?
It's not looking good. Boy, it's nasty out there. Northbound 94, right just north of Ryan Road, we've got a semi that went way off the road, off on the right. So give them a wide berth so that they can get this thing taken care of. But it's going to be slow no matter where you go, which is probably a good thing. We have ice-covered areas, slippery stretches around the rest of the system, so just be extra careful no matter where you go. Hey, by the way, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you do see something we should know about and you can do this safely, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson. What do you think is really going to happen?
It's going to be a busy week in the weather office for sure.
Entertainment.
Jeff Levering, pleasure to have you here today.
Season opener. It's right around the corner.
And more.
97% of a cow's gas is from burps. Now, I didn't know that.
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
Jason Rose is the president CEO of AccuRite Tax and Financial Services. They have document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
I think it's very accurate to call it a partnership because it's more of a relationship that you build up over time.
And your practice has had document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems for years.
Yep, they know what you need, they know how to help, they're able to provide suggestions on future improvements or changes.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company. Here for you today, helping you plan for the future.
It's a great deal. James Imaging is the real deal.
And Jason, the bottom line for your practice?
Keep us up and running, especially during tax season.
Keep your business up and running with document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
What's better than free? How about play free all year? This January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in reward play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games to earn prize drawing entries. Then stop by each Thursday night in January to see if you're a winner. $400,000 in prizes is up for grabs. Over 40 winners each week. Yeah, free is for me. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
Sun, 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 fun, 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 sun, sun, sun.
Boaters, this is your show, the Milwaukee Boat Show at State Fair Park. Over 300 boats, family runabouts, ski and surf boats, luxury pontoons, more Lake Michigan boats than ever. Tierra, Beneteau, Pursuit, Cruisers, Sea Ray, Boston Whaler, and more. We have the boats. See Twiggy the water skiing squirrel the second weekend. Check MilwaukeeBoatShow.com January 19th through 28th. Closed Monday and Tuesday.
8:26 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Wish we could do this conversation through the morning. Peter Fagan, of course, president of the Milwaukee Bucks and Fiserv Forum, and his mother Barbara are in studio with us this morning. Barbara Fagan has written a book called My American Dream. And so your family arrives on the West Coast. I need to fast forward here a little bit to your career in advertising. What, about the 1960s then? Somehow this immigrant child has emerged in this male-dominated field, and you're crushing it in the advertising world.
Well, not right away.
It took a minute.
It started in the 60s. When I graduated from college, there were very, very few options for women. We could either become nurses, teachers, typists, or get married. And none of those options really appealed to me at that time.
Okay.
So I heard about a graduate program in business that was being run by the Harvard Business School and Radcliffe Graduate School, because at that time, women were not admitted to the Harvard Business School. So there was a separate, allegedly equal program, same courses, same professors, but it was not taught at the business school campus. It was taught at Radcliffe, which in retrospect seems sort of silly. But anyway, that's the way it was at that time. As I got out of that program, I really wanted to go into marketing. And the career path way to go into marketing was really to go into product management or brand management, where you had profit and loss responsibility. That was not open to women. There was just no way to get that kind of a job at that time for a woman. So my way into marketing was through market research. And I got a job as a market research trainee at the then Vic Chemical Company, makers of Vicks Vapor Rub, Formula 44, all those good brands that I'm sure you know.
Of course.
It's now part of Procter & Gamble. And I worked there. I loved it. Worked there for about a year, got very good feedback on my performance and so forth. And I thought, well, I think it's time for me to go and have a conversation with my boss about my career path. So I kind of nervously made an appointment and knocked on his door, and we sat down, and I said, Tom, I really, want to talk to you about my career path. I've been here a year. You've given me good feedback. And he just sort of stared at me for a minute, and he said, there is no career path. They get married, have babies, and leave. I said, who's they? Women.
Yes.
I said, Tom, I do plan to get married. I plan to have babies, but I went to business school. I plan to have a career. Well, he said, Barbara, and then he just started laughing. And he said, if that's what you want, I can't help you. You have to leave. And so I did. I left. And that's when I found my way into the advertising business. So I started in advertising in the 60s, but went for many decades beyond that. And there were challenges along the way. In my first advertising agency, which was a big, prominent agency, I was married at this point, and I was pregnant. I got pregnant. Jim, my husband, and I were very excited about having a baby. And again, I thought, well, I better go and talk to my boss about what my plan is. So I, again, nervously made an appointment and went in. His name was Val, and I said, Val, I'm going to have a baby. Oh, he said, Barbara, that's fabulous. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations to you and Jim. I said, let me tell you what my plan is. I plan to work until the baby is born, then I'll take a few weeks off, and then I'll be back. And his face fell, and he said, oh, no.
He'd never heard anything like that before.
We don't do that. You don't do what, Val? We don't have maternity leaves. I said, but Val, that's my plan. I plan to work until the baby is born, take a few weeks off, and then come back. He said, well, I can't help you with that. I have to talk to the higher-ups. Oh, I said, thank you very much.
Tell them thanks. Right. Peter, I want to bring you in here real quick. When we're talking with Barbara Fagan and Peter Fagan, who's president of the Milwaukee Bucks, because the Bucks as an organization, we talk so much about the culture that you have in hiring, whether it's from concessions all the way up to the front office. I imagine you were inspired by stories like this and this strong woman in your life who was guiding you.
Well, it's part of your nurture nature. So you're raised by a woman who was an executive and ran a large company, and kind of you don't think differently. So, at the Bucks, which is a great trend all around, we're probably somewhere around 53, 55%, of women executives, which I thought was, kind of traditionally what's
pretty normal. As
why
far as
would you
know.
have that? I was raised by a woman, who kind of did everything and, was a great parent and was a great executive, and it made sense to have that kind of representation.
So have you seen Mad Men, and how accurate is that TV series?
Yes, I've seen it, and yes, it's accurate.
All of that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
All right, good enough.
So you have an event tonight at the Jewish Community Center. What are you going to focus on, Barbara? Is it because, anti-Semitism, obviously something in the last year in particular, but the last number of years on the rise, such an important issue in our community. Is that part of the message tonight, or what is it? Because there's so many different facets to what you write about, what you talk about.
Well, hopefully I'll just be able to give some of the highlights of my own story. And there are really kind of, I guess, 4 things that I'll talk about a little bit. One is my father's journal, and discovering my father's journal, which he wrote during the prelude to and during the escape, was such a sort of an emotionally overwhelming experience to me to learn about this at a very late stage of my life, never having known a thing about it. Just taught me everything about not only what their experience was like, but what my parents' character was all about, how brave and courageous they were, how determined they were, and what perseverance they had, and their overwhelming optimism and resilience. I mean, you've come upon many bumps in the road, and they always managed to pick themselves up and move forward, and their just elation about being in the land of the free. Because my father says in his journal, in the land of the free, you can be who you want to be. You can do what you want to do. You can read what you want to read. You can listen to the radio. That was a big thing to him, listening to the radio and hearing different opinions and so forth. So that part I'll talk about a little bit. And then sort of the 3 sort of intertwined strands of my own life. One was about growing up as this strange little immigrant German-speaking girl in a weird little family in a small town in Washington, just yearning to become an authentic American. The second one is my life, my business life, really sort of working to be successful and to achieve what I was trying to achieve in a very male-dominated business, advertising, not just during the 60s, but beyond. And then thirdly, my life as a mom and a parent of a family that I wanted very much to have strong bonds, and I wanted us to be very close-knit. And both my husband and I were very good partners, and we worked hard to really make this happen in our family. And I think we were pretty successful.
I would agree. You would be proud to know, because I know my mom likes to hear good things about me. We're glad to have Peter in town with us and running the Bucks for us. And bring her by anytime, would you?
You guys are too nice. Thanks so much for having us. Yeah, I like well-behaved Vince. This is great.
Really different. Yes. Well, we'll be irreverent next time you're around, okay? And we don't have to send any clips. Peter and Barbara Fagan with us today. The book is called My American Dream, and it is available in the event tonight at the Jewish Community Center. Thank you so much, Barbara. Wonderful to be with you today.
Thank you so much.
8:35 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Ring in the new year with the ultimate timeless gift, a diamond from Diamonds Direct. Whether you're ready to pop the question or celebrating a lifetime of love in 2024, Diamonds Direct can make this New Year's one to remember forever. Diamonds Direct is the area's destination for exquisite diamonds in all shapes and sizes, and our nationwide price guarantee ensures you'll get the best value, period. To showcase that spectacular diamond, we have literally thousands of designer settings from all the top names like Tacori, Verragio, Simon G, A. Jaffe, and many more. And our experts will guide you every step of the way with the education you want and the respect you deserve. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, fashion rings. At Diamonds Direct, we specialize in the ultimate symbol of love, and we welcome the opportunity to celebrate with you. So start the new year with some new excitement, new hope, and some new bling. Diamonds Direct on Mayfair Road in front of Mayfair Mall. Proud to call Milwaukee home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
So you missed the chance to do it in fall. I'm not going to shame you over it. Let's get it fixed first thing in spring. Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. Would have been great if you got the team out to your commercial parking lot or drive to seal up those cracks and make those minor repairs. Before now, we're in the freeze-thaw cycle, If those small cracks are turning into big gaps or potholes when this snow melts off, now's the time to get on the schedule with your commercial paving project for 2024. You might not need a whole rebuild, maybe just some patchwork and repairs. You book the work now. It puts the Johnson & Sons design team to work right away. And then you're first in line in the spring, so the damage doesn't get worse. Maybe it's a fresh topper. Maybe you rebuild the whole thing. Consider Johnson & Sons for new construction as well. They do it all, and they're local. Plenty of Johnsons over there. No subcontractors. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
It's time to make the call. It's time to get that lasting relief you deserve from that awful joint pain in 2024. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik for QC Kinetics. Hey, don't go another year compromising because of that awful pain in your knees or your shoulder. Give a call to QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative, non-surgical pain relief. Now, the best part is your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue. That means no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. QC Kinetics can make it happen. Hundreds of board-certified QC Kinetics providers have treated tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, with hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. And it's not a Band-Aid fix. This is revolutionary. It's treatment that can get you moving again and get your life back. Take the first step now. Give a call to QC Kinetics. A free consultation awaits. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Not only did we receive a fair offer, but we were able to take as much time as we needed and could leave the house a mess.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
8:38, I'm Adam Roberts. Your top story, icy conditions causing a mess for commuters and for parents in Racine.
I'm Debbie Lazica. Yeah, treacherous conditions out there as far as trying to drive out there. We've got northbound 94 just north of Ryan Road. Semi went way off into the ditch on the right, so careful with that. Slow speeds pretty much everywhere else. And the fog is rolling in. So, just as a reminder, make sure you have your headlights on so that people can see you. Not just the running lights, but make sure you have your headlights on. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Precipitation really starting to move in right now. Your storm team forecast from meteorologist Tyler Moore calling for that wintry mix, ice, and some heavy snow today in terms of the weight of the snow, not necessarily amounts. Up to 2 inches possible today. A high of 37. A winter weather advisory still in effect until 2 p.m. this afternoon for most of us. Lows tonight down to around 34. Right now, freezing rain and 34 degrees in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the weather having an impact also in Racine this morning. Chief of Communications Officer for the Racine Unified School District, Stacy Tapp, confirming to WTMJ last hour, classes are on as scheduled in Racine, though she acknowledged several bus routes have been experiencing significant delays while navigating the icy roads.
We're asking for a lot of patience from our families and understanding. I do understand that some students may have been dropped back off at home, so we're working to get communication out to those families, but school is on today.
Tapp says parents can ultimately make the decision to transport kids to class or can use an excused absence if it is unsafe to drive in their area. Reaction continues in Whitewater after a group of neo-Nazis projected the image of a swastika and chanted anti-Semitic rhetoric on the UW Whitewater campus Sunday evening. TMJ4's Jenna Ray spoke with several students and parents who say hate speech on campus should not be tolerated.
Freedom of speech only goes to such an extent to when it becomes aggressive and violent towards other people.
We live in the land of the free and the home of the brave, and it's happening right here at our front doors.
Absolutely disgusting, and that's not something that I stand for at all.
The Whitewater incident mirrors a similar one that occurred on UW-Madison's campus in November. And it's primary day in New Hampshire.
Voters here in New Hampshire,
and I think Trump, he wants to be king,
really tell you how they feel.
The real Trump, I think, is a very good, decent, honorable. That surprises some because I was hearing about his many marriages. But my reason for supporting Trump is that what he did before, what he can do.
But Jim is all in for Nikki Haley.
We need a candidate, a president who is policy focused. Policy focused means doing the work of finding a way to get bills passed that address major national issues. Debt, healthcare costs, inflation, the border.
Matt Piper, CBS News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 94 points this morning to 37,908, while the S&P 500, some modest gains this morning, up 5 points to 4,855, and the NASDAQ is up 27 this morning to 15,387. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite, financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:41.
WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up. We got a day with 40 degrees for the high temperature ahead, and we'll also get a fresh update on the roads. That's next.
The reviews are in, and folks seem to like how we do business. And what's more, they can't get over the level of service and real estate expertise they get for far less than what they'd pay an agent from a big-name company. At 3.5 to 3.9%, you'll save up to nearly 50% in commission by choosing a Benefit Realty full-service agent. Everything they do, we do, for up to 50% less. There's no catch. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. See our success stories at benefit-realty.com. One day, a 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission structure will be commonplace. But for now, it's not the case. So you can pay 6% for what we can do for about half that, or you can pay less for full service. For some, it's hard to believe, but for our customers, they know it to be true. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, and our agents understand the meaning of great customer service. And you'll see they're the cream of the crop. So don't pay more than you have to. Pay less for full service with Benefit Realty. Benefit-realty.com.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? It's all about living life how you choose. Take it from my friend Dint at Three Pillars.
After my husband passed, I started to think about maybe moving to a senior living place. After investigating many places, I moved into Three Pillars and I got to know so many people. Living life at Three Pillars, you can live life to the max, however you choose to do it.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Bill Maher, the WTF Tour.
I'm so tired of pretending that kids are people. No. I said that wrong. Peers. Kids are not peers. Kids are people, of course, and very important people. They assembled my phone.
Bill Maher, an all-new show. Riverside Theater, July 14th. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at papstheatergroup.com. There's more at billmaher.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
8:44 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Fresh update on the roads here, Deb. What's happening?
Yeah, we're getting fog rolling in now, so it's making things a little bit more difficult. Make sure you have your headlights on. Come on. It's the way you're supposed to do it, so make sure you have them on. We've got also northbound on 94, just north of Ryan Road. That's that semi that went off the roadway, way off the roadway, off to the right. We've also got on northbound 94, right around Highway G, left lane blocked with an incident. So that's going to be tying things up a bit as well. Slow speeds, probably a good idea, because we got ice-covered areas as well as other slippery stretches. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of 37 degrees today is your Storm Team forecast. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Morris says some folks could see up to 2 inches of snow. Got to be away from the lake for that, where it stays colder here during the day, because everybody along the lake is getting this wintry mix, some rain, and everything's sort of freezing on the surfaces. So high of 37 degrees today. That'll be the Milwaukee high. Low down to 34 tonight. Stays foggy. That was another thing coming in, don't you think?
Yeah. A little bit of fog there.
Tough to see out there.
Yep,
those are not.
It's
not a good mix of conditions. Fog and slippery.
Right.
So just be aware of that. That fog will be sticking around Wednesday morning. Wednesday's high 39. Thursday's high 39 with scattered rain. Just cloudy on Friday with a high of 40, and Saturday's high 39.
And
once
watch
again.
those sidewalks. Be careful. Don't assume that every business is throwing out the salt quite yet. Be very easy to slip in some of these spots.
And then the situation we've been on top of, Adam talked about it here in the bottom of the hour news in Racine. I feel for the folks for Racine Unified. They had school today, and then the buses were running late in some cases, and there were some reports on social media from presumably parents saying, bus picked my kid up, got to the end of the block, turned around, dropped my kid back off. Said, I'm not not going.
So there's multiple reports of that on social, responding to the Racine Unified School District's page, their Facebook page, where they posted about this.
And quickly reiterating, Racine Unified is open today.
Yeah, and they said it's okay. It'll be an excused absence if you can't get in. But that is interesting. So drivers must not have felt comfortable in some areas driving. So they told the kids, all right, just head back home. You got to be careful doing that, though, because some of these kids might not be going back to a house that has any parents in there, right?
Or saw my kid off at the bus stop, hopped in the car, went to work.
So though you might be thinking you're doing the right thing by, we don't want to be driving in these conditions with kids in the bus, which is, appreciate that. But you got to be careful just sending any young tot walking back to their house.
Sorting that out still this morning. But again, Racine Unified does have school today. Buses may be running late. 8:47, Wisconsin's Morning News.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
The successful Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring friendly, people-oriented servers. You'll make real cash, full or part-time, and always busy. Inquire today, start next week.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here at Richlands, we offer both comfort service and expert service.
Our comfort service comes with movie theater popcorn, hot gourmet coffee, upfront pricing, on-time scheduling, plus anything else we can do to keep you comfortable.
Put that on top of honest service from the most friendliest, hard-working people you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center. And well, we'd like to believe we're on the right track to meeting your expectations.
But when your check engine light, tire light, or any other light screams, "Service me," well, that means you're due for our other type of service.
Our expert service. Tires, brakes, belts, mufflers, transmissions, and even engine repair.
Come on into Richlands and put our expert service to the test.
And while you're relaxing, enjoy our comfort services too. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, your
due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 3-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Checking in with Debbie here. We got a freeway closure now.
Yep, northbound 94. They're saying that just north of Ryan Road. Wow. Okay, they're saying the right shoulder is blocked, but they're saying that it is a closure. So I'm going to get a better eye on what's going on here. Looks like it's going to be tied up for a while there. This is the place where that big old semi went way off the road, and it's very possible that they're going to need to shut at least some of the lanes down to try and get the tow truck out there and yank this thing out of the way. But just heads up with that. Just give yourself some extra time to head through that. Back to you, Vince.
All right, appreciate it, Debbie. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm looking at the live stream here, the camera. This is the camera facing Ryan Road then for northbound I-94. It looks like traffic's still getting through on a few lanes there to the left. But as Debbie indicated, they're going to have to try to get this semi out that's beached there on the off the shoulder. I mean, it's completely off the freeway.
Do you have to do that today, though? Is there any chance you can just leave that there for a bit while we're dealing with all the rest of this?
Come back
good
overnight.
Point, but the cargo in there might be needed to get going someplace. I don't know.
Hey, guy, come get your truck at 2 in the morning when we can shut this thing down here.
Depends on what the cargo is, I suppose.
You think my guy's going to be back out on his moped?
God, I hope not.
Given the fact that you saw him yesterday, makes me think that might be his transportation to and from work.
I saw yesterday on my way home from work. So I'm coming from downtown, and I'm on the little stretch of I-94, 794 that runs between the Hone Bridge and the Marquette Interchange. So if you can see that way, I'm coming out of downtown. I'm headed eastbound into the Marquette, and I want to go southbound back to the south side. So that's a right-handed exit, and then a pretty high ramp that elevates. It might be the highest ramp in the Marquette.
Got to be close if it's not
So you're way up there, right? So it's kind of a creepy ramp to drive on, too, even if you're in your regular old car or truck or whatever. And so I'm on this ramp, and in front of me is this dude on...
It's a moped, man.
You think it's a moped?
That's what it is, yeah.
Like, definitely did not look like he belonged on the freeway.
It certainly looked like an e-bike to me.
It was well short of a
like
motorcycle, I'll tell you that.
And he's driving in the left lane. That's what flummoxes me. What are you doing, dude?
So he's got to make this. He's going the same way I am. He's going eastbound to southbound in the Marquette Interchange and just and he maxing out at 40 miles an hour.
I got to ask you, Vince, did you feel a weird sense of responsibility? I got to protect this guy because he's obviously...
No, I just thought it was funny. Just being honest.
Hey, look at this guy.
I did. Actually, I ran a gamut of emotions. And if you text the word watch, WATCH, to the WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. Text the word watch or click on the watch now on our website or our mobile app. You can, Greg Pancake Hill, producer of the program, is running the video on our live stream. So you can watch it as we work through this. Or you can text the word bike and I'll send you the link to what we posted on our website. But anyways, yeah, I ran the gamut of emotions. First, I thought it was funny. I'm like, oh, this is going to be hilarious. And then I was worried for the guy. And then I was kind of proud of him because I'm like, hey, buddy's got to get where he's got to get. Right? And he's doing with the vehicle that he has. And then I felt a little grateful for my 12-year-old Honda that I complain about because it's an old car and I really like a new car. And I'm like, or you could be that guy, right?
There's always that one Harley guy that you see driving in the rough conditions that you can
Snide. Our sports guy, Brandon, he rides all season.
But he won't ride in this, though. But so there's always at least that one Harley guy you see. This is different, though. This is moped/e-bike with a flat tire, too, it appears.
Now, do you think that he thinks that'll give him better traction? Maybe?
The flat tire?
No, I'm thinking that was largely just neglecting.
Like, okay.
Yeah, given everything else that we've gained from context of what was happening.
But I am proud of him because I believe that he's probably a very a noble worker. He's doing the work that he needs to do, and then he's going home to
saving the earth, not using too much gas.
One person on social media suggested they've seen this person. Like maybe he's like a guy. You know, we have
He's
Milwaukee
the guy that
guys.
does it. Yeah.
You got who was the guy who
Milverine.
Right, you got Milverine, you got the cannoli guy, right?
You got Freeway.
You got Freeway as a guy. We have our guys. And they could be women, too. You could just be that person that is seen and known. Who was the guy who used to suntan nude on the beach? Dick Bacon?
Yeah.
You had that guy, suntan guy. You had ride around in his car with the weird messages guy.
Oh yeah. Downtown, I can't remember what his name was. He just drove up down Wisconsin Avenue.
Is that Brother Ron?
Was that?
Yeah, something like that. I haven't seen him in years, so I don't know what's come of that guy.
So we need to find and connect.
So now we got Freeway Moped guy.
Yeah.
Is he a guy or was it just a dude one time? Look, I'm late, and this is the most efficient way to get there.
My roommate's got the car. I got to get there
and
somehow.
This is what I got to get there.
Totally shamed on the radio, and I'll never do it again.
What would be the preferred route, Deb?
I would say probably, just through 6th Street.
Straight across?
6th Street, straight down to National Avenue. Because you said he got off at National, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right at that off-ramp. Yeah, just take 6th Street, and it'll take you right to National.
In fact, might actually have been faster.
Probably.
More of a direct route.
You have to climb up that ramp.
All right, text the word watch to 855-616-1620 or bike. Either way, we'll get you the video. I can send you the link. 8:55 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Your weekly Bucks breakdown is back.
They want to win equally as bad as I do.
Bucks Weekly on WTMJ.
Now he joins a team where you have, as he has put it, the best player in the league.
And a new year brings new faces.
You'll see that I've gotten better year after year after year after year.
Get the latest news, analysis, and insight on your Milwaukee Bucks all season long. Bucks Weekly with Justin Garcia every Monday night at 8 on WTMJ. And catch the podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Eric Bilstad here, a homeowner that is so happy I've had my worry-free roof tune-up from Tri-County Contracting. When you've had the weather we've had with the snow, then the freezing, then the rain, then the popping, and the shingles getting moved
and then
around.
the refreezing.
Yes, and then the refreeze. All of that is going to do quite a bit of work on your roof. So now's the time to schedule up yourself a worry-free roof tune-up. This is when they jump on the roof, Chuck and Tony in the group there, and they take a look around, and they replace things that need to be replaced. They fix the issues that need to be fixed, and they extend the life of your roof. Plus,